Yo, 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 it is Tuesday and welcome to Spurs Kings TV. Ash, are you well?
Yes, my brother, I am blessed, man. How you doing? How you doing? You good?
I'm all good. I'm all good, mate. Especially when Spurs win. Especially when Spurs win.
Oh, you're a happy buddy today, aren't
I,
you?
I am. I am. You know what? When you see a performance like that, I don't care what they've done in the last few weeks. At Old Trafford, you got to be happy.
I know a lot of people going into it nervous.
Yeah, they were. Well, apart from the people there who were saying 3-1s, 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 you're like, really?
Yeah, it was a big win, man. It was a big win. I can't deny, man. I was mad happy for it, bro. I was mad excited, and I enjoyed that high. And I'm trying to let it carry on. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted to just keep going.
Okay. Should we get a man who's going to bring us down with it then? He'll probably bring us back
We
down to
need
earth.
bringing down. We need bringing down a level or two, man. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's bring him out first, yeah, because he out of all the people, he's the one person who will bring everybody down. But box office, Alex, are you well?
Well, I don't know why people say that I'm bringing anybody down. Really, to be honest with you, it's just a reality check, and that's it. Really, you know what I mean? But no, I mean, I've got to be honest. The weather's getting me down. To be honest with you, it's just been rubbish the last couple of days. To be honest with you, just raining. Thank goodness I went to Jamaica over the summer, and I went to the carnival. Honestly, bloody hell, back with a bang, isn't it? You know what I mean? But yeah, good to see you, Ashmatic. Good to see you, Marlon.
why?
Um,
Why is it always Ash first? Why is it never good to
th-
see you, Marlon first,
yeah,
sir?
good to see you, Marlon. Good to see you, Marlon. You know what I mean? It's like, what is this, man? Everyone's equal here. You know what I mean? You
I,
know,
so,
unlike some people that like to think that they're special on other channels. But anyway, moving on.
wow,
Um,
oh, we're doing it already.
um, but
So I
yeah.
didn't hear it because my headphones fell out. So you're
No,
lucky.
no, 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 no one in the Spurs YouTube world anyway. But anyway, yeah, good to see everybody in that, and let's get into it. You know what I mean?
The next guy is back by popular demand after his last appearance, and you know what? We were probably in a different place to where we are now. But if box office is on, we've got to bring on the chef, right? Are you well? How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm good. I'm living life. I'm happy.
Good, good, good. And
How are you? How are you, Marlon? How are
no,
you?
yeah,
Ashmatic, box office. We all good.
Good to see you,
all
man.
good,
See
all
you.
good. Good to see you again. Now, the last man I need to bring on, yeah. Last thing I heard from him, he brings his channel views, right? He's the big man on campus, right? Right. I even had to add him to the thumbnail for the rivals because that's how massive he is now. He's too big for us now,
Man,
right?
yeah, very
But let me bring him out because again, another one that box office likes to line up and get the pot turning. But Jay, are you well?
and he's on mute.
He's on mute already.
Great start.
Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. Mute. Unmute. Unmute. Let the world hear you.
I'm sorry. That's the most sense I'm gonna make this evening, guys. That's the most. I was giving it the old. I was giving it the old Hulk Hogan. I was like, "Tell me more. Tell me more." Thanks for having. They only bring me on when we win. This guy knows the algorithm. He knows lose. We need to bring on a certain demographic of man. Win. Let's bring the positivity, brothers. But thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Let's get into it. Ash, obviously, always start with you, right?
Mm.
Sun was out. I
Yes.
saw a lot of Spurs fans panicking when they saw Werner in the team. We'll get on to Werner
Mm.
later. I've got a
Mm.
whole bit about Werner.
Mm.
Um, did you expect that from Spurs?
To be totally honest, no, I didn't. If I'm being totally honest, I predicted a draw. I did put a little piece of respect on Manchester United's name, but
Yeah.
bro, like they just lived up to the actual stereotype of what they've been over the last season or so under Ten Hag, which is poor, very average. And I know we're going to touch on it because it's like, was Spurs that good or was Manu that bad? Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what's been going around at the moment in the media. The narrative is that, Man United have been poor and the focus has been on them a lot. So is there any truth to it? Or is it a fact that we played well and we just battered them and it's been coming? I don't know. I'll leave that for my guests to decide, man. I'll let them kind of chop it up, you know?
Chef, I want to bring you into it first. What did you make of it? You know, what was your when you saw that lineup? Did you expect that sort of performance to come out?
I tweeted straight away. He's starting Werner. I was very apprehensive because we've been there, haven't we? As I mentioned it before we went live, that we were here with him playing in that team last season, and he missed chances at the time. We needed those chances. The one with Skip and that to win the game. So when I went back to that, and let's have it right, the games he's played this season, he's been the worst player on the pitch. And we'll cover that later. So I'll be honest with you, it put doubt in my mind, I ain't going to lie, which even if Son was starting, I'd be worried to go to Man United because they are a scrawny team. You can dominate them for the whole game, like Wolves have, Fulham have, other teams that have played a good style of football, attack them well, and still lose the game. So I knew that to beat them, we'd have to be ruthless, and I think we were. I think we could have been a bit more, but to come away from Old Trafford with a clean sheet, scoring from a set piece and not conceding, I'm sorry. After the performance in the week with 10 men, it really is a positive step that we're taking.
Jay, Mr. Positive himself, did you come on? Out of all, you must have expected that sort of result was coming, and did you expect it to come at Old Trafford?
I felt like we had to, because going into the game, whoever lost that game would have lost 50% of their games in the
Mhm.
Premier League so far this season.
Yep.
So it was kind of do or die, and I do genuinely feel that the late winner at Coventry was almost like a watershed moment for the team. Like it was just something like for me, it was almost like we were very close to the narrative around Ange changing, and certain fans, he might have lost certain fans already if we'd lost that game. So winning that game, going into the United game, I looked at it and I looked at Brighton when Brighton played United, and I saw how Brighton played the game, and I thought, you know what, we're capable. I think we're better than Brighton.
Yep.
So I remembered last season when we drew 2-2, and I expected that as the bare minimum a draw, and like I think in the game I wasn't necessarily expecting us to win, but I expected it's not a bad shout. I expected the team to put in a performance, and if the performance was good enough, we should win the game. But obviously, there's always things that can happen as a variation. But
Yeah.
I was very very happy with the performance and the mentality of the team. Like whole game, excellent.
Alex, come on.
Well, no. Listen, I had no complaints about the game. I had no complaints. We dominated them. We absolutely dominated them. Yes, we did. The question marks. It hasn't answered all my questions though, whether we're a great team or not. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I can't change my mind on Johnson. I don't think he's good enough. You know what I mean? Because like he's doing the same thing he was doing at Nottingham Forest. Um, Kulu has improved, but he was doing this last season. When he played in the middle against Aston Villa and Man City, he did the same thing. I think the only thing that's different, and I think Ashmatic might point this out, is that he's playing more alongside Madison. That helped him, and we have seen that. And I have said that against the Everton game, it was helping that Madison help his game out. You know what I mean? Give him more space to be a natural number 10, and that's it. I was impressed with obviously Van der Ven doing what he did. It was absolutely fantastic. It was a great start, and that's it. But Man United were not very good either. And I think when people say that, it's like, well, you're not giving any credit to Tottenham, and it's like, no, it's just I'm just analysing the game, and that's it. I'm analysing the opposition, and they didn't give us a game. They really did not give us a game. We only had 15 minutes in the second half, and that's it. And let's be honest here, when the sending off happened, but we were dominating them, so it wasn't just a case of because they had the 10 men, we were dominating them. Yes, we were, but yeah, I have no complaints about the game, but it hasn't changed over one game. Yeah, we've had a few other games before, but they have not been that great. Let's be honest here. Um, you know, I can't just. I'm not changing my mind. I still don't think that midfield is. is consistent enough for me, and I still say I'd rather have Højbjerg back in that midfield. I still
Alex,
say,
did you say Højbjerg over Kulu after Kulu's performance?
well, Kulu's not. He's not consistent enough. He needs to be consistent.
But has he not been for the last 3 or 4 games though?
Well,
Yeah, but
all
he's got
season
to
he's
be
been
over the
consistent.
season. He's got to be over the season.
No, but the thing is, Alex, you've got data to say we're not good, but you haven't got enough data to say we are good. To me, it seems a little two-sided
Well,
here.
I don't just go on date.
No,
The
because
thing is about
no, what I'm saying is Kulu from pre-season has been on it. Yeah, like when he played false nine, when he's played in the middle, when he's been on it all season. So whilst you're right to say
But
last
Jay
season,
puts an important point there. Last season, he, like, let's be honest, Ange for 6 games changed his midfield three every week. You talk about consistency, but he lost his own faith in what his best midfield three was, and that
right, he
was
didn't
because
know.
everyone got injured. Then they came back, and then we were just getting beat every week. So now that it's all settled down, like Jay said, and he's played in, he's played there, he's actually just been utilising midfield mainly, and still he's played in the right wing. But let's be honest. Let's just be fair here. Yeah, like Moreno's going to go into that Arsenal team. He's going to play DM. He's never going to be asked to go. You know what, Moreno, go and play centre attacking midfield. Go and play on the wing. I think what happens with Kulusevski is he's a victim of what we've done to him. Because we always knew when he come from Atlanta, he scored all those 90, he got all that 19 or 20 odd GA playing centrally. And very rarely did he touch the wing there. He played all of his games playing in midfield, playing up front, playing as a centre forward. But we, because of Conte, played him there because, again, we didn't want to spend the money. It's like we're playing Jed Spence as a left back, and luckily he can do both. But that's because we didn't want to buy a left back, and that's what's happened to Kulusevski. This football club sees a good player and says,
No,
actually,
no. The only just to defend that a little bit. Remember, we were getting Diaz, so
no, I know that, but what I'm trying
let's
to
be
say,
fair
no, but
because
what I'm saying is,
we
Jay,
yeah
what my point is, he's consistently playing one position
yeah.
in a structure. So now we're seeing a consistent
But
improvement in him.
but
But
the
when we were all complaining about him, Jay, he was playing all over the
No,
place.
but also on the flip side, whilst you're not wrong to add context to that, he's also playing the midfield role logically. Like like last
Yeah.
season, he was doing stuff that wasn't like he'd dribble in certain positions and he'd lose the ball, and he was like, "We can't trust you in that position at the moment." And what he's doing this season is a lot more like he understands that we've got Madison, we've got Kulu, we've got Bazuma or Bentancur, and you can overlap in terms of the skill set. You don't have
But
to.
we have to see how it is. He's got to be consistent because the
Of
problem is
course,
he's
of
not being
course.
consistent.
Like,
He's doing the same thing he's doing at Parma right now.
the
No,
thing
You know
but
what
is,
I mean?
as
yeah,
And
your
and and that's my issue at the moment. I still think he's lucky
I hear that,
because no one has competed with him. You
but
see
but
what
the
I'm
what do you
saying?
thing I
know?
would
And
say,
no one's there to compete with him. You see what I'm
the thing
saying?
I would say,
And
I hear that, Mr. Box Office. He needs competition. I get what you're saying because now we're moving into a player in SAR that's playing his role is box to box. Is he really competition for
well,
Kulusevski?
he's not.
No,
The thing is, what I wanted to say was he actually said it in an interview that the reason why he's being trusted more in the midfield as a number 8 is because he's now learning how to defend in that area. Before, he wasn't learning how to defend, and so he wasn't trusted in that position. And now, because he's learned that side of his game, the manager's giving him more of a run in that role. Whereas Saar was the preferred player because defensively, he's got legs, he's got an engine, he can pick up the ball and he can win the ball back. Kulu didn't have that discipline yet. And so now we're seeing Kulu pick up that role because he's doing what Saar does, but then actually he's doing a
Well,
little bit.
he looks better. He looks like a more. I've said even last season in the Manchester City game, the Aston Villa game at home, even though we lost, when he played that role, I thought he looked like Dembele. He reminded me of Dembele. I did
yeah,
say that, and he does look like Dembele when he's doing those runs. Yes,
yeah.
but but like I say, there's a reason why Juventus let him go. There's a reason why Juventus let him go
Yeah.
because and Bentancur as well because yes they're playing different ways. Yes, Juventus, I can understand that because Dan will correct me on that. But for me, it's about consistency, and he gets away with it at Tottenham because we are not winning team, and that's the thing at the moment. I think the problem is we get too emotional, and I've said it on my channel, Mr. Box Office TV, a new video by the way, showing about again why we're very emotional about players again. You get what I'm saying? You know, because like I say, we're getting too emotional about players. It's like, oh, we need to give them credit. One for
But you
one,
do need to
for,
give them
for one,
credit. The
for one,
same
for
way.
one. I'll be honest with you, Supreme. They get credit from my bank account. Yeah, when I'm paying the money to go to the games every single week. So
No, but
that's
that's
credit.
but
That's
that's
credit in the
football. No,
bank.
but that's
You know what I mean?
football. But that's
Yeah,
football.
but they get credit in the bank, whatever
No,
it is.
no, no. Because
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I wonder what Alex Ferguson would have said to some of these players that done well for one game. Yeah, I wonder
But,
what
tell
Alex
him they've
Ferguson would have
done
said.
well.
He would have given
but,
them a
Tell him.
slap. He would have given them a slap and said, "Sorry, sorry, bro. Do it next game. Do it
well,
next game, bro. Because
but,
next game, I've got somebody on the sump bench right now that's gonna want to get your place,
but,
take your place, bro.
but,
You know what I mean?
but Alex, the thing is you're here now, and you're essentially not being fair because what you've just said here is
Well,
that
that's not fair, bro.
well, that's probably the best thing you've said on a
Life is
stream that
not
I've been on.
fair.
Life is not fair
Because
because
if I don't hit my target for like if I was in a sales job, if I
yeah,
don't hit my target, if I hit my target 1 month and I
yeah.
don't hit my target next month, my manager's saying, "What you doing?"
But your target's always subtly lower than what you want to achieve. Like, do you know what I mean? As in, like, it has to be achievable. The targets and approach needs to be logical. And what I'm saying is that I don't. If anything, I think our players, our fan base has hyperbole. They go too far one way and too far the other way.
Agree.
It's
I
about
agree with
closing
that.
the gap. No,
I've
it's
always
about
said to you,
closing the gap
Alex.
to Man City, bruv.
No, but
It's
I've
about
always said
closing that gap to Man City.
no. But my point. But
What you're doing is
I'm not
again.
doing anything.
You are no.
I'm
What
not
you're
doing
doing
anything.
is
No, I'm not doing anything. You can't say what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything because I never rate our players. If you've heard me speak, you have never heard me go over the top about our players. You've never heard me rate them against other players because once you start comparing them at that level, you have to ask the players to deliver. Yeah, you have to say to these players, if Poro's one of the best right backs, if Romero's one of the best centre backs, Vicario's one of the best goalies, you then have to perform like a team that has all of these top players. And to me, it's an evolution. We have young players who are inconsistent. We have certain players who are up and down in form, and we have other players that aren't ready. So if you put all of those things together, I'm not expecting perfection. If you're expecting perfection, that sounds like a you problem. Yeah, that's not to say that the board gets a pass for not equipping the squad properly. But if you look at what we've got and then what we're delivering, I think what we've got versus what we're delivering is pretty good. I don't think there's a massive disconnect between what we're getting from Ange and the quality of squad we're playing. I don't think we're underperforming, and I don't overly think we're overperforming. I think we're about.
I, I think you're wrong. I think you got that completely wrong. I didn't ask for perfection. I'm saying, yeah,
I
but you
didn't
just
say
said,
you said that.
yeah,
I
but
was making my
but you
point.
say you just,
Am I allowed to make points too, Mr. Box Office?
yeah,
Or
I get what you're saying, but you
is
said
this
that
your
I'm
show?
speaking
Yeah.
professional.
All right, cool. All right, I'll go on mute then.
No,
All right.
I'm just correcting you. I'm just correcting
Ah,
you.
hey,
I'm just correcting you. I'm just saying I'm not expecting perfection. I don't rate this squad. I
that's
do not
fine.
rate this squad
That's fine. So
because I
if
know
yeah,
that in the test of time we have got no composure in that team. Right? Yeah, okay, we beat Man United 3-0, but the most of the game it went right from the very get go. From the get go, yeah, we saw against Leicester when things go wrong, we haven't got the composure. Yeah, we saw against Newcastle, we ain't got the arrogance and swag. If we need to finish off a game, it's like boom,
okay.
goal. You know what I mean? There's none of that. Yeah, and
What were we missing
also
against
another
What were
thing
we
as well
missing
that I
against
have to
Newcastle,
point
Mr.
up
Box
is
Office?
leadership.
Okay,
Leadership in that
right,
team.
but Mr. Box Office, when we played Newcastle, we were missing Van der Ven and we were missing Solanke. So
Excuses.
all you can say excuses. All that told me is Spurs at this stage of the City went there and couldn't win. Yeah, Spurs at this point of their progression are not good enough to go to Newcastle without Van der Ven and Solanke and win. We definitely should have got a result, 100%. But is it?
Arsenal, City, they've all lost there, Alex. You've got to be realistic, bruv. You're
I'm,
talking like
I don't want to make
wait,
excuses. By the way,
yeah, it's like
we
you're
definitely shouldn't
talking
have.
like you're talking like beating Newcastle's easy, bruv. But if it was that easy, everyone else would be doing it,
Bro,
Alex.
listen,
And they're not.
City couldn't beat Newcastle, and Isak didn't even
For
play.
2 years, they've struggled to beat them.
What do you like? Do you know what I mean? All I'm saying is basically is that the team, if you want to criticize this, I think our general level of performance has been quite good this season. obviously
And I think what Alex forgets is that one thing that has to be a reality is, Alex, is that styles make fights. We've watched Man United, Arsenal be title contenders for the last 2 seasons, and they're light years ahead of us, But up until Ange getting here, and let's be honest, they've struggled to beat Ange, haven't they? Because when we had 6 players missing, Ange fucking after literally having the kitchen sink thrown at him. Like you talk about swagger, we talk about Oscar Bob, fucking Haaland, couldn't score, bro, for a half. And we scored 3 goals. So when you say that, it's not a fair comparison either, because the teams that are winning things can't beat these teams, but yet we can beat the team that's winning things consistently. Took Arsenal 15 years to beat Man City. We've been doing it, bro, for fun. They're still our little bros, bruv. They can't take 6 points off. But what I'm trying to say is, styles make fights. So you're going to have games, where, i.e., Brighton can get a point from Arsenal. We can't, but I reckon we'll go to Brighton. I reckon we'll beat them. And that will also then make you think, well, we can beat Brighton, but we can't beat Arsenal. So the questions are all relevant, Mr. Box Office, but credit has to be given where it's due. I've been very critical of Ange, been very critical of the Leicester performance, critical of being sucker punched by Newcastle, critical by being sucker punched by Arsenal. But the reality is, bro, they just won with 10 men. People talk about the chances that they give up, and I don't give a fuck. They got 10 men. They scored 3 goals. So it's not like this is not an isolated incident. I'm looking at the last 4 games. They snatched defeat from the fucking. They snatched victory from the jaws of defeat from a poor default performance. But people always say this: it shows character if you can win when you're not playing well. Then they go to Brentford, stand on business, who have been giving everybody a difficult game. They're no slouches. Deal with them, fly squat them, dominate them, and use the dominant possession to score goals. You then go down to 10 men, because there's still, this is what I agree with your Box Office, we should have never played the ball all the way back from the centre against Qarabag. And if you look at how they nicked the ball and caused that, they had trained for that, But where I then give them credit is that for 80 minutes, they suffered, they scored 3 fucking goals and kept a clean sheet. I don't care what chances that were given up. They got 10 men. Then they follow that up. They follow that up with Man United had an extra day's rest. I think 2 days rest on us, and then they go and dominate Man United. Absolutely. And people will say this: Man United were poor. They were that poor because we made them that poor.
Yeah.
We made them that poor.
How come United haven't given up that level of chances in XG against anybody else apart from us?
But
I mean,
go on, Joe.
All I'm saying is, Alex, you're very justified in being critical. All I'm saying is 3 wins in a week, creating bags of chances, like clean sheets. Like at a certain point, it's almost like there's nothing to be critical about. There's literally nothing to be like up from that United victory. Like I look at it and people are like, I was like, oh, I think Werner's one of the reasons we won 3-0. But he's also the reason we didn't win 5-0. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, so I'm not going to be super critical of this guy because we won 3-0. Like he gets a pass because it didn't. Yeah, but Marlon, I get it. But the thing is that it didn't fatally affect the team. Yeah,
agreed. I agree with that statement. Yeah.
Same way Dragusin gets a pass for that red card because it didn't fundamentally affect the team. Yeah, they had to struggle a little bit, but we still went to United 3 days later and won, having played 83 minutes with 10 men. So in those situations, can we not give the players a pass when it's not been fatal to the team? Do you see what I mean? No?
Can we talk about that point that Mr. Box Office brought up about being emotional, fans being emotional on players? Like, what are you talking about? Players like Son? Is that a player
getting emotional about? Like I've heard a few streams today, and they're saying, well, if you don't give credit, you should be able to be big enough to give credit when you criticise. And I'm sitting there saying it's the same thing we hear with Johnson, which is doing over the top. Like I said, like I'm not talking about the personal stuff. Put that to one side, right? Because everyone knows that's wrong. But like I say, I'm talking about when you criticate someone on the football, right? And actually, it's actually done him a favour because he's kicked him up the backside because now he's seeing what he's seeing right now, but he's still not good enough. He's still not good enough.
We're not trying to say bullying works, are we?
Yeah.
What we're trying to do here?
No. You don't listen to me again, Jay. Again, it's emotional. It's emotional. It's emotional again. You're going emotional again.
I'm not
No,
emotional
no,
about it.
you getting emotional again
Brennan's my
because
baby.
you said
Yeah,
because
Brennan's my
I said
baby.
put the personal stuff to the side.
You always want to look after your children. That's the way
Put the
it is.
emotional stuff behind you. Put the emotional stuff, personal stuff with what's happened there, because I can't go on about that. That's
Yeah,
wrong. But talk about the football,
yeah.
right?
But the
And
foot,
if you
but yeah,
analyse what he's done, everybody
yeah,
can say whatever about the stats. He's
yeah.
doing exactly what he's doing at Nottingham Forest. So he's not
Right.
improved.
Well,
He's
he
not
has improved.
improved.
No, he
No,
has
he has
improved.
not. No, he has
No,
not
no, no.
improved.
He has
If you're
improved.
doing the same thing you're doing at not done at not
No, he's
Forest,
not doing the
not in
same
Forest,
thing though.
you've not
He's not
improved.
doing the
And
same thing
I'll
now.
tell you this for a fact. This is going to hurt you very
This is
much,
why you
Jay.
wear
And
glasses, because
maybe
the eye
it's
test
gonna
is not working for you,
yeah.
Alec.
Well,
I'm
it's
telling
gonna
you.
hurt you. It's gonna hurt you, and the truth hurts.
Mm.
Lamella and Bergwijn are better than him all day
Irvine
long
is
and all
not
day
better than Johnson.
all day
Shut
long,
up,
and that's
man.
it. And that's all I need to say.
Shut
And
up,
that's
man.
it.
No, he's
You know what I
not.
mean? No,
What do
no,
you
no.
mean? No, he's
I'm
not.
sorry. Truth hurts coming from Mr.
It
Box Office,
doesn't.
like I
He's
said.
not better than
You know what I
Johnson,
mean?
bro.
And
You had a
that's it.
lot of
And
data
that's all
on
I need to say, and
Bergvall
that's
this
it.
week.
And that wasn't
Wait there.
that's shouting. Was that
I
shouting, by the
love
way? Because people say I shout, by the way. No, I
listen.
don't. No, I don't.
Soldier,
I'm a
Don't I?
soldier.
bird.
And that's all I need to say. That's it. Back to you,
I'm a
Marlon. I'm done.
I'm a Bergwijn fan, but he scored 10 goals in 60 games.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, with Harry Kane and Son in the team, by the way.
Exactly, and
So,
he's only got
Harry
10.
Kane
And
and Son,
exactly,
he had to compete with them two. What has
exactly,
Johnson got to compete with?
exactly.
What has Johnson?
Listen to
What
this
has
box
Johnson got
office.
to compete with?
Box
Have
What
office,
you
has
not
calm
been
Johnson
down.
got to
missing it?
compete with,
Box
bro?
office,
This is the
box
point.
office, calm down.
Let's look at context. Let's look at context. He had
You're having
Moira.
a shocker.
He had Moira. He had bloody Harry Kane, and he had bloody Son to compete with. Look at what Johnson's got to compete with. Nobody.
Yeah,
Nobody.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
don't
but listen to
But
what
give me
I'm
who's
that
saying.
Bergvine?
nonsense.
Who's
Give me that
Bergvine trying
Listen
to
nonsense.
to
stop?
what I'm
Honestly,
saying.
there was big
Wait there,
context to that one. I tell you that,
wait
bro.
there,
Go
wait there.
on,
Honestly.
Listen
go
to
on, go
what
on,
you've just
go
said.
on.
Listen to what you just said. When he came into that team, don't get upset, don't get rattled. He was playing with Son and Kane. I would cut my testicles off to be him and go and play
But
with Kane.
he's competing
Whoa,
with those
whoa, whoa,
two.
whoa, 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 whoa. Brian Gill was able to have a good game playing with Harry Kane. But my point is this: Johnson's not playing with prime Son. Son that was putting the whole Man City defence on his arse. He's not playing with prime Kane because they're not here. And
Yeah.
Bergwijn, with those players, with prime Christian Eriksen, who could put the ball on the sixpence, he got 10 goals in 60 games, and I
Yeah,
love
but
that
that's not
player.
the point I'm making. That's not the point I'm
No, but
making.
you are. No.
You
Wait
just
there.
completely got my wrong. You got it completely
You
wrong,
just
Supreme.
no, but
Again, no. Again, Supreme, you got it completely wrong. I said to you, right? He was competing with Harry Kane, Son, and Bell at one point as well.
yeah, and I've agreed
Right?
with that. But
What is
listen, but
Johnson
you're not
competing with?
thinking about what you're saying. Listen to
No,
what
no,
I'm
no.
going.
I'm thinking what I'm saying. You don't listen to what I'm saying. My
Well,
point is,
listen
you
to what I'm
know,
going to
no.
say.
Well,
Then
listen to
listen,
what I'm saying, bro.
listen,
No,
listen.
listen to what I'm saying before you start saying what you're saying, which is you
I
got it
just
completely
listened to
wrong.
what you've said. I've had to
You
ingest it.
completely got my wrong. My point I'm saying is, right, who is Johnson competing with? It's not a point about what he's done before. I'm saying to you right now, who
What's
is
that
he
got to do?
competing with?
What's that got to do with anything?
What's that
Listen,
got to do with anything?
listen. No one. Listen.
Bergwijn played 60 games for Tottenham, and Johnson's already scored more goals and got more GA than what he ever got. So you need to come on mute, chill, and let
Yeah.
someone else have a go on the mic to balance out what you're saying.
I'm
Because
back to what
when
you're saying, bruv. You're talking nonsense, bruv.
you're talking
What is he
nonsense,
scored 60 games? What has he got? What has he scored? He scored tap-ins, bruv. He scored
Okay.
tap-ins.
But isn't Alex?
Bergwijn,
Oh,
Yeah, he's got
Sal,
that's
Sal,
telling
one
him
sec,
what to do.
one sec, Sal.
Attacking
Listen.
team, bro.
Let me
Attacking
ask.
team.
Time,
Because
go on,
Alex, you know, like Haaland and stuff.
Attacking
Yeah.
team, bruv.
Like Haaland and stuff. You know, being in the right place is a skill. Do you remember Sterling? Remember Sterling at City? Being in the right place to finish those chances off, it's a skill. Not every player can do it. Not every player is smart enough to know how to position themselves. Yeah. Johnson's got 20 GA since the start of last season. Obviously, Lamella is technically a better footballer. We all know Lamella was a good player, but he was made out of fine china. Do you know what I mean? So we get that. We appreciate that. Now, comparison is the thief of joy. You want to say he's not as good as Lamella. Who brought Lamella up? Yeah, why are we even comparing him to Lamella?
Because we haven't replaced him, bruv.
Compare him to his peers who play right wing.
Yeah, but he hasn't. We haven't replaced him.
Compare him to other right wingers, and if
But
you're
you're not
looking at
listening. You
what
haven't replaced him.
if you're looking at what he's done, Alex, you're saying to yourself, okay, he scored in 4 games in a row. Yeah, not just any goals. winner against Coventry, first goal against Man United. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? First goal against Qarabag. These are decisive goals that this guy's getting. Yeah, big goals for the club. So to me, these are not stat padding. These are not goals you can ignore. You have to give the appreciation because the
But he
player
won't be here. He won't be in the next couple of
doesn't matter.
seasons, bro.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Yeah, but
matter.
again,
In this moment,
you're not getting the
in
context.
this
So,
moment, this player is moving the needle for the
so
team.
moving the needle then,
That's
bro.
what he's
Okay,
doing for
moving
the
the needle.
team,
So what is he
whether you
doing for
like it
Wales
or
then,
not.
bro?
That's what he's doing
So
right
what
now.
is he doing
Is
for
he going
Wales
to do
then,
in the
bro? If
future?
he's moving the
Maybe not.
needle.
But right now,
I
the
don't give a
player
shit
But
is
what
what is
he's
he
delivering.
doing
moving?
for
What is he
Wales,
doing?
bro.
What is he
I
doing for
don't care
Wales?
about Wales,
Yeah, okay.
bro.
So, but that's the point I'm making. You're celebrating averageness,
No, we're
right?
not. I'm
Not
You're
celebrating the
celebrating
player
celebrating
averageness. Not
contributing
averageness.
to
celebrating
This
positive
this
averageness.
results.
emotional
You
talk
can't
Not
say
is
I'm
just
celebrating
celebrating.
brilliant
averageness.
because this
I'm
is exactly why
celebrating
I'm
the
saying
player
this, and that's it.
contributing to
And this is
positive
why I'm
results.
saying that
That's it, Alex. The player is delivering for the team, and
delivering, yeah, in 4 games, bruv. Yeah,
he
brilliant.
should be
Richarlison's
appropriately
delivering in 4 games as
for
well,
that.
bruv. That's
I'm
a
not
purple
saying
patch,
go over the
bruv.
top. I'm saying the players contributing to victories. Well done, Brennan Johnson. You're actually making it a bigger deal than it actually is.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
making a bigger deal. I'm
you
just saying the
are.
point. You're
You
just
are.
getting
Why
rattled
can't
by
you
what
just
I
pat
said.
the player on the
I
back?
don't know
Because
what
you
else to
hate to
say.
be wronged. You hate to be wronged about
You're
Brennan
Arsenal.
Johnson. You
You,
see him scoring four goals in 4
and it
games, and you start
upsets you.
thinking
You
to
get
yourself,
rattled.
shit, did I go too soon on this guy? And you probably did, Alex. But that's
Oh,
for another day.
but honestly, I don't know where we're going with this. Like I said before, you didn't understand what I'm saying, and again, it goes back to the point. What are we trying to do here? Is he going to get into a top 6 club? No,
What is
right?
that? That was
No,
not the
Alex,
that's
starting
the point I'm
argument.
saying because
Alex,
that's
Alex.
the needle and moving it to try and get into to win
Of
something at
course,
the moment,
what
and
did
that's
you
it.
say? Do you mean
And
in the
and
starting
and,
11
and, and
or the
that's the thing.
squad?
It's all right doing it in games, in Premier League games. That's cool. But when it's the major moments, when it's the major games in terms of the final, semi-final, when it's getting to doing that, he's not good enough to do that, and that's
Can
it
we
for
play
me.
a
So,
semi-final
and
with
that's it.
Johnson
No.
first to
Well,
find
yeah,
out?
well, at the end of the day, well, no.
What
But
do you mean,
the point I'm
bro?
making it that I don't believe it. I don't believe it, and
That's
that's it.
fine, bro.
You
But
believe it. If you
you
believe in
can't
it,
create
that's
a
your man,
narrative in your
bro.
head that
That's your
hasn't
man.
happened and then beat him
Bro,
with that narrative.
you can say whatever you want. Like I said, I don't think he's good enough
Can I
from
That's
what
ask
I'm
you
seeing
fine,
at
something?
the
bro.
No,
moment.
no, no. What it is,
Hold
Jay?
on.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? You spent too long with Sava and Stell, bro. Like you're proper stuck in that
Bro, don't
moment,
bring
bro.
up
Yeah,
their
yeah,
names
yeah.
like that,
Tell him
bro.
You
again.
are,
Allow
bro.
Tell him
it, bro.
again.
Allow it,
Stop
bro.
Wait,
playing
Allow
hold
it,
with
on,
bro.
us.
wait, hold
Allow
on,
it,
hold
bro.
on, hold on,
Allow
hold
it,
on.
bro.
Listen, I think basically it comes down to a player profile stylistically. What do you prefer? What do you associate with either a right winger, someone that hugs the touchline, or a wide forward, someone that is a bit more like Son, runs in behind and scores from out to in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what do we look at Johnson at? Do we look at Johnson as a right winger who's tricky, can beat a man, that aesthetically looks pleasing? Do you know what I'm saying? That whips in crosses a bit like we saw with Perisic? Or do we look at Johnson and say, is he someone that's going to go from out to in, and is he going to be elite at finishing?
Yeah.
Maybe neither
Johnson is
of
very
those.
obviously he's a system-based player, and he's a player that requires a system that gives him just a job to do. And when we took Solanke out of that team, it gave us an eye opener of just how much his game is lacking in a personal note. So has he got the ability of Kodos or Bakayoko to create things from a wide position on his own? No. But has he got the nous and the ability, if you've got Solanke stretching a back line, a Benton Core, a Madison, a Kulu in form to put him in positions in front of the goal? Yes. And when you put him in that position, yeah, he can do that. But when you start taking those players away, when you start giving him more to do, when you start giving him the ball, he's playing at the moment. If you look at all of his best touches, he's playing closer to the goal. So you simplified the game for him. You've not met asking him to run and beat 3 players. You're not giving him the ball on the halfway line. You've simplified his game. He's playing with a smile on his face because the people in midfield, I've said it, have started to take responsibility. We've got more of a spark in there. Benton Core's trusted enough with the likes of now Destiny and Porro that if you look, are more involved in the build-up, especially Kuleveski. He will come deep now to get the ball. Leaving Madison in that advanced position makes us a far better team. You have your best players close to the goal. So Brennan Johnson, close to the goal, good player. But as soon as you start taking Madison out of the team, Solanke out of the team, the boy's going to struggle. But that's not something at the moment we can worry about
I think
because these are the
Christ,
players. These are the players that we've got. So all we can hope for is that Solanke stays fit. Maddison and Kulusevski. Well, Kulusevski don't have to worry about fitness, but Maddison can stay fit. Bentancur is banned, and if Basuma comes in, he can keep the concentration because they're your biggest worries of our midfield. Basuma hasn't really got the concentration. He hasn't. He's not Bentancur. That's just how it is. Yeah, but he can do you a job, and you have to then also then look at Sarr, Bergval, Gray are still players that we're just going to have to give time to wait for them to come on to the sort of level that Sarr did. But when we look at Sarr's progression, it took time. And for people like Alex, they're just now, because obviously they've had years of not winning anything, more money's been spent, a new manager, they want to win something. It's year two, and I hear it. But there just has to be context and reality of what you're looking at.
Can I just to add on that, like, just about, for me, I'm a big Brennan Johnson fan. Like, whether people like, I've always liked the guy. Like, I liked him at Forest. The one thing for me that I'm a big personality profile person, so mindset wise, the reason I like Brennan Johnson a lot is obviously, if you know, his dad was David Johnson, yeah, Nottingham Forest legend and stuff like that. So I feel like if you're a player whose dad was a good player, yeah, there's a lot of pressure on you to try and get to certain levels. Yeah. Not only did he get to that level, he got Forest promoted and he helped keep them there. Gone to a different system, there's going to be a transition period. I don't really care whether people rate Johnson or not because he's 23. Yeah. And he's meant to be one of 4 wingers. So I often think people criticize Johnson with the criticism of all of our wingers in one. Yeah. He's doing his job. Since the beginning of last season, he has heavily contributed to our team in GA. If you're going to be upset at the squad not having the appropriate other wingers and the appropriate profiles in the squad, you're projecting more annoyance about the winger situation onto Johnson, and you actually mean it against the board, the transfer committee, and the players we brought in. Because for me, you look at the likes of Walcott, you look at Sterling, those kind of players. That's where I see Johnson in this system eventually. Do you know what I mean?
Box office's point, and to Sar's point, Sar brought up a brilliant point, which I think actually does support box office's point. And guys, if you do like this video at the moment, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. But anyway, guys, I just want to talk about Sar bringing up Johnson being a systems player. And if you take 2 or 3 players out of that system, as Spurs fans, do we start to worry now when you take away an informed Kulusevski or a Maddison that gets injured or a Bentancur picks up fines?
Well,
There's that, not fines, but
But yeah, look, because Jay made the point earlier, you took 2 players out of the Newcastle game and we fell to pieces.
We didn't fall to pieces. We just weren't good enough to win.
But this is what the box office is saying when it comes to Johnson, right? Even though he came on and actually changed the game, you took Van der Ven out and you took Solanke out, and that was it for us.
I think Solanke is very important. I do agree. I did agree because I've said it on my channel, Mr. Box Office TV. Again, I agree with him. I agree with him what he said. Solanke does make a big difference to that front line in terms of because of the hard work he does.
But Jay mentioned something that was super important. Yeah, like we could beat PSG. We could get those fuckers over today. Yeah, if Levy would let them and have control, and they could buy us all these great super talents. You see me, I love them. Bring Doué, bring them all. But Jay's right. There's no fucking balance to that PSG team. They're all over the place. You've got a kid there that's from Portugal, doesn't speak any French. You've got fucking Destiny Doué out there who's just out there because there's nobody good enough in the midfield to give him the ball. He was better off and looked better at Reigns. It's like Jay said, if you've got a Solanke who costs you 60 million, who wasn't just wanted by Spurs, by the way. It wasn't just us that wanted him. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you've got a Solanke, yeah, maybe if Brennan Johnson was £25 million, I don't think we would react like we do to him. I've always said that. And so the reason why I get so disappointed with him is I hold him to the same level as Kudus and the gang, and I will always. So when he plays poor, I will hold him to them levels. I am somebody that holds him to them levels. I don't racially abuse him. But at the same time, I'm not an idiot, yeah, to understand that putting him next to Solanke and Maddison that can give him the ball closer to goal. Even Bentancur now fit, he can put him the ball closer to goal. Yeah, that's all his job's got to be. But that's not his fucking problem, like Jay said. It's down to the board to say, if Solanke is that man, and we've got Richarlison. Richarlison needs to fucking go, and we need to go and buy someone else who can give us. Or we need to start developing Lancashire to give us what he can do, so that when these players are injured, it's not all down on on him. It's like what Jay said. There's Ange here that needs to take some responsibility. Eventually, come January, come next summer, the board needs to take some responsibility.
All right.
Because if you can see that,
Thanks. All right, kids, you've had your fun.
No. I tried to challenge quickly. All right, Supreme, do you think Brennan will get 10 plus Prem goals?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100% playing with Solanke and Maddison and the way we're playing now with Benton Court. As long as Maddison stays advanced and Solanke's fit, he's going to score goals. He scores because Maddison, you've seen it. You've seen the damage and what he's creating. You've got every pundit at the moment talking about just how good Maddison
Wait, box office. Do you think 10 goals is a good season for Brennan Johnson?
No.
No, you don't. I said no, you don't.
I want 10 goals.
Oh, no, it's not even that. It's not even that. It's not even that, Ashmatic. It's just.
What does Brennan
aesthetically-
Johnson have to do for you, Alex? What does he have to do?
I'm not. He doesn't. He's just not for me. He's just not for me at the moment.
What stats would make you happy with Brennan
I
Johnson?
don't care about stats. I don't play FIFA.
You just sound like you hate him now. If you're telling me that
I'm not a hater, Bob. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. Honestly, bro,
He doesn't do it for me.
Bro, it's just because I've got ambition. Just because I've got ambition, yeah.
That doesn't,
Right?
bro,
I don't really care. I don't really care. The fact is, yeah, we can say
What's the
whatever you
fact?
want. It rattles you, bro. Because
it rattles me that you won't support a player if he achieves
like I said,
something.
truth hurts. You know what I mean?
What truth hurts?
I'm sorry. I can't. I like I say, like we got rid of the likes of Harry Winks,
Yeah.
Sissoko,
Yeah.
Lamella, saying we need to get better. We ain't got better.
Okay.
Right. So for me at the moment, if you want to close that gap to Man City, which is what you got to do to get to that line, because Ange says he wants to win the Premier League, right? Or win. He wins in his second season, like he says, like he always says, right? You need better. Yeah, I understand the whole thing with Solanke, right? Ashmatic said it to me privately, and I'm giving props for it because he's the one that said it. And people say that I don't. I say whatever people say is absolute nonsense because I say what the truth and that's it. So don't keep backing your boxes and just watch Mr. Box Office while he rains in your parade. The point is, right, is that like I say, I see exactly what Solanke does. He helps the team. He's holding up the ball. He works hard for the team. He presses very hard, and that's really making a good effect on players like Son, Johnson. They're playing more inside forwards, and I see it. You see what I'm saying? Werner had chances as well. We'll get onto him in a bit. I don't want to spoil it for you. But the thing is, I see what he does. So I can see what he does, but I don't see this
Box
personality.
office, what you're
I don't
saying
see
is
this
box
personality that
office.
is got the
Box
arrogance and
office.
swag to get us over that
Yeah,
line. You see what I'm
box
saying?
office.
That's
I
what I'm
get
saying.
what you're saying, yeah, because what you're practically saying is not a lie. What you're saying is that we're never going to wake up even in 2 seasons' time and he's going to be Kudos. He's never going to have that swaggy ability that you're on about. He's never going to be Salvini. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm not deluded here. But what my point is to that is that as long as Kuleveski and Maddison and those players, it's like in a team, yeah, like even Real Madrid, for example, Cruz held a lot of the responsibility because they always say this: if the spine of your team is strong, you can get away with having slightly weaker players playing outside of that middle spine of your team. Now, if you look at Cruz, they say he's like the ticking heartbeat of a Rolex because he progresses the ball, he sets the tempo. If you take him out, as you've seen, like Real Madrid were winning games, but they weren't as in control because he controlled that whole operation. It's why he played so deep. He could play further on, but it was important that he plays there because he organises. He sorts out where people go, what passes are played, and when they're played. And a bit like players like Solanke, Maddison, providing that you've got those players on top of their game, that the likes of Johnson, well, it's like Werner, yeah, we'll get onto that, yeah, as poor as he is, he was still able to get good opportunities. I would say that was more down to the players in the midfield that were that good, breaking the lines, getting them all mixed up and who should be having who. that create those opportunities. But let's be real. There's two men on both wings. Only one of them that was able to score a goal and produce an assist.
All right,
It's
guys,
not the first game either.
before we go any further, and before Marlon goes on to Werner, there's a player that I think might tickle Mr. Box Office's fancy. And if I can bring him up, oh, hold on. He goes by the name of, let me remove it. Hold on, sorry. Let me do it properly. My bad, Marlon. Let me bring it up. Add it to the scene properly.
The Ghanaian.
The Ghanaian kid, man. Yeah, let me hold on. Let me.
I've been saying about him for a while. I think he's a good player.
Funniest thing is like, can you do like Ash? Also, one thing I wanted to do, like that those stats that you were just about to bring up on him, I would like at some point, you can even do it in the background when Mr. Box Office is waffling, is that you can add Johnson last season and Johnson this season with the same stats, because Alex is saying that Johnson hasn't changed, and I'm 95% sure if you pull those stats side by side, you'll see the massive shift that Johnson's done as a player.
Yeah, he has changed. He has, well, compared to Nottingham Forest, he's produced.
No, even compared to us last season.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so far, isn't it? So far. Obviously, he's got 2 goals in the season, 2 goals in the league, and 1 in the cup, isn't it? So, no, is it 2 in the cup? 2 in the cup, 2 in the league?
Yeah.
I forget, but he's got 4 goals in total.
Yeah.
So, output for goals ratios, he's actually doing better.
But is it even touches in the box, like progressive dribbles, things like everything's up. Like you can.
I'll bring it up.
My logic, Alex, is if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's going to live its whole life believing it's stupid. You can't if you are judging Johnson on the wrong things, you are constantly going to be upset at the player. Yeah, rate him for what he's good at, rate him for what he brings to the table, and you'll have a completely different appreciation of the
I'm not
player.
interested in him, bro.
Oh, in that case, that's absolutely fine. Let's just wrap up this thing.
Hold on. Let me talk about a player that we might all like. Yeah.
He signed a new contract, by the way, so I'm not liking how much this will cost potentially.
Yeah, I did see that to 2029, I believe.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's look at him anyway.
Yeah.
So Semenyo, Ghanaian international, plays in all positions, as you can see. He can play right wing, up front, left wing, but predominantly plays as a right winger for Bournemouth. Here he is. Some of his stats for this season so far: 3 goals, 1 assist as well, and 1 appearance in the EFL Cup as well. Here is his heat map, as I can see. The heat map there shows that he's all over the pitch. He's left and he's right. But some of his stats for this season so far, the ones that jump out to me is obviously total shots and also successful take-ons and touches in the penalty box. Those are ones that stand out to me. He plays for Bournemouth, so blocks and clearances stand out too. But aerial chances won, that's where he stands up for me as well. So he's quite good in the air. He's decent in the air as well. But yeah, here he is taking his man on, doing a little steppy there, slow down a little bit, cuts in, finds that corner. Again, electric pace, going on the outside, finds the corners. A little bit different profile, in my opinion, to like a Brennan. But again, in the near post.
A bit Bakayoko-esque.
Yeah, a little bit Bakayoko's right foot, left foot, weaker foot. Doesn't matter. He's able to improvise and get his shot off. Again, winning the ball high up, dribbles, cuts in, and then hits that ball right, beats the guy at the far post. Again, far post finish, first touch out of his feet, beats the keeper, cuts it across, hits that ball across. There he is for a tap in the right place, right? That hits our system. That fits our system down to a T. Here he is. Improvisation again, left foot, right foot, finishes it off, cuts inside, bang, top corner. That's what you want to see. This is footage from Bristol before he went to Bournemouth as well. Want to get copyright.
How much did Bournemouth pay for him?
I'm not too sure. But he puts it through the legs there, cuts inside there. Here he's a youngster. He's a little bit tricky, goes to the inside. You can see he's got the ability there. Again, ball sticks to him, cuts inside, goes in left, goes right foot, boom, left foot, weaker finish, right foot finish there.
They just signed him to a new contract because they know it's coming. They know he's going to go.
But this is the exact reason why you want to try and buy players before they explode or when they're on the cusp. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, there he is again as a youngster, cutting him, nice little cross, finding the player right on his toe, taking his man on, dribbling, beating the man through the middle as well, dribbling, just causing havoc, absolute havoc. Again, bottom corner finish. He's finding those finishes in the corner very easily. Good
Yeah.
cross as well. So he's able to do aerial crosses. Look at that little half turn. Starts running at the man, running at players, cuts in, cuts out. And this is him as a youth as well. So you can see what he's doing at Bournemouth. You saw what he's doing at Bristol. Here he is at a low academy level, not academy level, Notts County. Was it Notts County he was? Forget
Yeah,
the team he was at
maybe.
before. But yeah,
Before Bristol City.
yeah. He's
Yeah, I
just
think so. Maybe.
doing damage there as a 19-year-old. He's only 23, I think. But now teams are starting to notice him a lot more.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
Spurs are interested in him. There's no solid talks or anything, but they're interested in him.
yeah, definitely are.
What do you reckon? How much do you reckon he cost? 50
But
plus?
about 35, about 40 million.
Never. They are never selling him for 35.
Yeah, they go for about 35, 40 million. They only sold Solanke for 50 million, mate. 55 million plus the 10 million of add-ons, but really, cash up front, 55 million Solanke.
I'm
Not going to
looking.
go for more than
Look at
Solanke.
us. Look at his company. Like they're not idiots. They're asking for 45, 50 million for that guy. Surely.
But
Yeah,
there's
just
some of
say
his
35, 40 million. I don't think they can ask for any more than 40 million.
hold on a
Whereas
second.
Sevilla 25 million.
There's some of his expected goals just before I finish. Sorry, last bit here. Expected goals slightly higher than Bremo. I mean, you know how Bremo is. He's
Yeah.
a tidy player, and Bowen as well, quite electric. In that sense. The next stat here is some of his passing, shot creation actions, really high as well. So he's creating a lot of chances for others as well. João Pedro put in there as well. Obviously, he's a top player. I couldn't get any data on Dario Sario, another player I'm looking at. I'm going to
Scored a
bring.
great goal in the Europa League the other night.
Yeah, he did get a nice finish there.
Last week. Great goal.
Yeah, see,
And you've got Sven Olsen as well that they're really keen on.
I'm gonna talk about Olsen in that winter. Well, in our little break, international break, should I say? But yeah, here we got Brennan Johnson, progressive carries. You see that Brennan's even in that bit. He's more of a carrier than a dribbler. So just different strokes for different folks. That's what I was gonna
I
say.
get what box office is saying. It's like Ange Ball, if we call it that, does require dribbly sort of, like tricky wingers that can create a bit of chaos on their own, like a Semenyo, like an Elise, etc. And I get what box office is saying. I don't ever see a day where Johnson becomes that. But I kind of sit on the other side of the fence where I know he doesn't really need to become that kind of player because that's why we've got James Maddison. That's why we've got Solanke. So that his job is made easier. Like when Ange bought Johnson, before Solanke got here, even with Richarlison, I never seen that really being a long-term fit because against Nottingham Forest and that they were great together. But then you'd put them up against a Man United or whatever, and they would struggle. But I think now you've got Solanke, who's a completely different animal. He's far more intelligent. Richarlison runs around like a fucking idiot and gets injured doing it. Whereas Solanke, he works clever. He knows how to shut. No, but what I'm
Harsh.
saying is, what I'm saying is, there's a way to press, yeah? And Richarlison, you can't knock his work rate. He's running around and expending energy like an idiot. Whereas Solanke, he holds a position. He almost says, I'm going to go on this one defender here because I know you're going to want to play it to him. But when you play it to him, that will send a trigger. He sets our press far more better. That's why, look, there's no fucking coincidence that you put Solanke in our team and we started winning the ball higher up more often and a lot more advanced positions. There's no coincidence
Curves
that.
his run as well, sir. He curves his run.
Yeah, he's an elite presser.
I'm not
Elite
having a go,
presser.
but what I'm saying is, it's like Richarlison is a goal far, but Solanke's an S3. Yeah, they're both 300 break and that, but you want the Audi badge, and that's the reality. I'm not saying that Richarlison doesn't work hard, but he does it in a way that's not really effective because even the players behind him don't really know what the trigger is. They just see him running around like a fucking. It's like when you got somebody with a mad puppy and they do that thing where the dog runs out the room and it runs back in, it jumps over the sofa. That's what effectively Richarlison's doing when he's pressing. But with Solanke's press, it's a different animal. He brings others into it. Look how many times we won the ball high up against Qarabag with 10 men, with 10 fucking men.
Yeah.
And how many times we did it against Man United. We're a completely different animal in the press because we've got an intelligent man that leads it. When we talk about leaders, that's a leader. He might not go around shouting and fucking. But I love him.
And also, Sal, can I just piggyback on that? Because see how the players react to Solanke? That's not a coincidence because they see what he's doing for the team. They see him pressing, they see him
That's true.
running,
That's
they
also
see
true.
him making their job easier, and they are delighted for him when he's scoring because they're like, "You deserve that, bro." The reaction to him when he scored that goal, everyone was so happy for him, and it wasn't just he scored the third goal. It's this guy, great link up play, great champ. Before I said last season, I said we need one of these Watkins kind of strikers who can run channels and be a handful, and we've got Solanke, and I think that when you look at like Semenyo and stuff like that, then we've got a place for a winger next summer, yeah, because we've got Moore, we've got Odebear, we've got Son, we've got Johnson. Werner's gonna go, and we're gonna have one spot. We might even have two because Richie will come up. So we
Oh, by
might.
the way, Odegaard's out for six more weeks. So
Yeah,
He's done
okay,
a
well,
hamstring.
okay. You're ants at a picnic, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Thanks, Ash.
but
no, I'm just saying, like in
Sorry.
terms is
Yeah,
even
he
back
has.
for Christmas.
He's done a hamstring injury now.
Yeah,
it comes down to the fact that, like I said before, like I'm sorry, Semenya, what's his name again? But
Semenyo.
Semenya,
Semenya, yeah,
Semenya,
Semenya.
he looks like someone's just is going to get me on my seat, and that he's going to do something out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? In those tight
I
games,
agree
and
with
that's
that.
it for me. And I think the thing is, though, for me, like I say, we're going back on this whole thing again about personality. Too many nice guys at the club. Too many nice guys at the club. You know what I mean? Too many nice guys in that front line. Johnson doesn't do enough for me. I don't agree that he's not the same. He still looks the same like he was at Nottingham Forest for me, and I still don't care what anybody else says to me. He doesn't look like anything different. Yes, he looks like he's scoring goals, but I don't think that's going to be continuous. I don't think that's going to be consistent enough. You know what I feel about Werner. Alderbear is raw, and that's it. Son is going towards the end of his career now, and he's even looking maybe even to leave because he even hasn't hinted about staying. So to me, you've got a front line at the moment with Slanky, who for me is doing so much of the work, but he hasn't got the actual the forward wide forwards to actually score those goals and be dangerous. And no one that front line actually scares me. No one in that front line would scare an opposition in the top six. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. You see what I'm saying? I understand why people are defending it. I can see why Jay's defending it. I can see why Supreme's defending it. But again, it goes back to what I said before. We're getting too emotional about players. I don't get emotional about players anymore.
Well,
I
I'm
don't get
not
emotional about
defending
players
it. No,
anymore.
no, I'm
Marlon,
not.
I'm
I'm not.
sorry, I don't. I can't.
Marlon,
I
But
can't
this
do
is
it.
this is
No,
you're
Alex,
trying to gaslight a
No,
motherfucker
no,
out
no,
here.
no,
That's
no,
not
no,
what
no,
we're
no,
doing,
no, no,
Alex.
no, no,
You
no. You
know it.
can't say that,
You
Jay.
know
Jay,
that's not
Jay,
what we're
Jay,
doing out
chill
here,
with the language,
motherfucker.
bruv. Chill with
I'm
the
on to
language,
you,
bruv.
you know. I'm on
but
to you.
Mr.
Chill
This
with the
guy,
language,
this
bruv.
guy created a whole
You're getting
slaughterhouse
rattled, bruv. Yeah,
just
when
to
you're
Mr.
getting
put
into
Box
the
us
Office,
language,
down in
bruv.
front of us.
Mr. Box
No,
Office,
no, 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 no,
Mr.
no, no.
Box Office. Listen, I agree with what you're saying. Though there is truth in what you're saying. I agree. Listen to me saying it. Brennan Johnson is never going to be Kudos. It's never going to be Bakayoko. It's never going to be Savinio. It's never going to be that style of player. Because to play like that, you have to play like that from a kid. And that style that you're on about, that unpredictable, silky, swaggering style, you grow up playing like that. It becomes second nature. So, as we said before, is that even if Brennan Johnson is Mr. Right Now, but not Mr. Future, he just has to do like what Jay says is his job right now. His job is to score and assist goals. Right now, in the last 4 games, whether you like it or not, he's doing his job.
Great,
Now, no,
great.
but where you do then have another sort of, well, this is what I said, is when Solanke's out again, and we'll see how good he really is. That's
Yeah.
when you get to come out here and say, look, I told you, Solanke's
Well,
injured.
yeah, but
No, but that's rightfully so because
yeah.
we've seen Bowen out.
We've had to
We've
listen
seen,
to you bitch out Johnson all season when he's not
So
been
what?
delivering. So now
yeah,
So
you need
what?
to listen to us
So
praise the
what?
guy
So
going
what?
yeah.
4 and 4.
So
It's
what?
as simple as that.
No, but
It's as
that's what I'm
simple as
saying,
that.
Mr. Box
But
Office. What I'm saying is, yeah, what I'm saying is, there is some truth in what you're saying, and what I'm saying is, your moment will be there when say
Yeah,
Solanke can't
you'll
play
have
for.
your moment to shit on Brennan again.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
worry.
yeah.
Don't
It's
you
like
worry,
right,
son.
guys,
it's
we're
like
going to talk about Burnley now.
it's like this, Mr. Box Office.
Go
Yeah,
on,
it's like
finish off. Go on.
West Ham when they didn't have Paqueta and stuff, they still got a tune at Kudos and Bowen. So this is why those players have that little bit of respect when people say, "Oh, I'd rather have Kudos." I would rather have Kudos. That's not a lie, but that's why people like Kudos get them little bit of flowers. That when Johnson's not getting flowers, likes of you are rightfully calling him out. But right now, let's just play devil's advocate. He's doing his job. And let's just see if he can still remain to do his job when we have moments of adversity again. It's a
Who
long
else did their
season.
job, by the way, in previous seasons? Who was that? Who was that? Asmat? Who was that? Who was that? Oh yeah, Horbier. He got left. He got sold. I forgot
Oh,
that.
bloody hell,
Oh, where were they? Where were him?
Don't you dare, bro!
Because I know you want to carry
Were
on.
out here calling Højbjerg a fucking horse, and now he's gone. You're like, oh, I missed my beloved.
If you said yourself, though, if you said yourself, so,
Can we change it?
if you said yourself, so,
Hey, come on. Can we change it to Werner, please? Come on, to be honest, I know there's a lot of juice, but we're gonna have the whole season.
You just ruined a great evening. What has been a lovely evening?
It's been delightful.
You're ruining the evening, Ash.
You're ruining it. Read my lips. You're ruining
Bringing
it.
you're bringing the vibe down, bro.
Go on, Mark. Go on, Mark.
Let's. No, do you know what? Right. So I wanted to say, look, out of all the positives that came out of Sunday, right, the biggest negative that I saw, especially from the fan base, I'm one of them, was Werner. Right. Jay was probably the only person I saw being positive about him at the weekend, to be honest. So it'd be quite interesting. But everyone else has been critical of this man. Right. For me, does this experiment need to end, and we need to get a youth team player to start taking those minutes that he's now taking up? Or do you think he's still got something to offer in this team? And I'm going to start with Jay. I'm going to start with you because obviously you had the most positive impact on him. I saw your tweet. So I thought I couldn't believe when I saw your face coming onto that.
I hear it.
Yeah, go on.
So my defending of Timo will start at this point. So first of all, we won the game 3-0. And I said before, I feel like Timo was a decent part of why we won 3-0, but he was also a major reason why we didn't win 5 or 6-0. Yeah, so I think that's fair. I thought he had Mazraoui on absolute roller skates. Yeah, I thought he had him all game. He played the game in a way which stretched the pitch for us. He helped us and other players play, despite the fact, his finishing cost us. It didn't cost us in this game, but it made the game more difficult than it could have been. We extenuated more. Fair. But what I also saw was a player that's not confident. He's not confident at the moment, but this was light years ahead of what he did against Coventry. Against Coventry, even me as a positive fan, I'm like, this is so bad. Like I was genuinely like, this is so bad. But we won the game, and he played against United. And like I said, Mazraoui, who United fans have been confident and talking up, he had him on skates. He stretched the pitch to a point where I think that had Mikey Moore been playing, I'm not sure we would have had the same kind of performance because he would have played the game differently. I think we obviously still would have won. I still think he would have added value. But when you play a game, you win 3-0, and the misses that Werner's made is not fatal. I can just chalk it down to a guy who's out of confidence and hope that he gets the next one. Obviously, it's not to say that he gets a pass. I get what people are saying. Same way I give Dragusin a pass because if he gets sent off when we lose that game, yeah, I promise you the narrative around Dragusin is very different. If the players make a mistake or they don't do something correct, it's not fatal to the team, and they have the opportunity to correct it. I'm just that kind of fan. I'm gonna let it slide. And I think Timo was a net positive against United. I rest my case.
But hasn't Werner cost us games last year where he's missing chances like this?
Yes, against Newcastle. Against Newcastle when it was 0-0.
I know Trafford last season.
I know Trafford.
So are you one of those, just so I know where you're sitting with this, are you one of those that thinks if he scores a goal that goes in off his backside that we'll start seeing
I do think there's a lot of confidence issues there. Like personally, just like Johnson. Okay. Just like Johnson, yeah.
So this is where I see it as different, right? So let's go back to Aston Villa last year, right? Werner scores an absolute great goal. He scored 2 in 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fulham the week after misses an open goal.
Yeah.
And then back to Werner again, still can't finish. So this is not overnight with Werner.
Yeah.
This is constant.
Yeah.
So why are we going through with this experiment when, like you said, Man United, it didn't cost us, right?
Yeah.
But majority of the time it is. Like Coventry, he was bad. He was misplacing passes in this game as well, right? Which we're like, oh, come on.
I don't think he was. I think he misplaced that one where he
There
cut
was
it back behind, put it between the two players, and everyone remembers that.
Yeah, but his crosses were awful. Like,
no, but listen, but my thing is, he was. I think he played a good game, and I get the criticism of his specific moments, and the decision making and the ball striking. You're 100% right. Last season, I do believe in certain games it probably cost us. The way I look at it this season is he's the fourth choice winger, behind Son, Odegaard, Johnson. So, later on in the season, might be fifth choice behind Moore. Obviously, I'm not sure what Yang will look like coming from Korea. He probably needs a bit more seasoning and stuff. Plus, so from my point of view, it's like he just I have to. I know last season's data isn't this season's data, and that's the point. How certain players were playing last season isn't how they're going to deliver this season. So I have to give him the same level of leniency that I'm giving other players in the squad who may or may not have performed well last season.
But
so
but Werner's not performed well this season.
No, I think he played pretty well against United. I think he was terrible against Coventry, but he was much better against United than he was against Coventry. So baby steps. So next game, listen, I get what you're saying. The way I look at it is part of our squad until January. We cannot do anything about it. So all I can do is I'm going to look for the subjective positives that I can see. Subjective positives is probably the best way for me to describe.
Are you stretching?
You know what I mean? It's not objective; it's subjective positives.
Yeah,
and that's the way I look at it. And I'm gonna hand it over to the more critical aspects because I think any further defense of Timo, and they're going to be talking about me on Twitter.
So I'll bring you in before I bring box office and go on. What are you feeling about Werner right now?
Just like when you've been out at the weekend and that you've drunk too much and you wake up next to a girl and you think, how did that happen? He's a mistake, man. Like, he's just such a mistake. Like, I agree with Jay. He stretched the game, but I'm sorry, he doesn't offer anything else that the kit man can offer us, man. Like, he's such a shambles. And it upsets me because everybody knows, like, the commentator even said, Timo Werner's through on goal and Timo Werner's missed. And he never looked like he had the confidence that he was going to score. And that's all great that Jason is low of confidence, but the way he plays, he ain't going to get confidence. He's naughty. He's naughty how bad he is. And I warned people when he got owned by the QPR defense. Did we play quick QPR in pre-season? Did we? Yeah, he was the worst player on the pitch then. He started the game against Coventry. He got the lowest score on SofaScore, but I was watching the game as well, and he got the lowest scores, rightfully so. And yesterday, including subs, he got the lowest score again.
He did, I did see that.
And for me, at that kind of money, and this is the thing that you have to say, this is the reality. Take everything of it aside, What would you rather do? Would you rather waste 165 grand a week knowing that you're paying that money to not get anything near that kind of money? Or would you rather just let someone like Moore play? Because Moore will be here for the future. We're fighting teams away to keep this boy. But yet we've got Timo Werner, a guy that we can't give away. Leipzig couldn't give him away. And we're allowing... And Leipzig are playing good young players because they're not that fucking stupid. They're not as stupid as us. They won't make the excuses. You know why? They don't have big money. They go and find nooses and people like that for dodgy knee, but I still take him over Werner. They would rather waste a season on that guy playing at Atlanta now, Lookman, who was absolutely a dog's dinner here and over there, but they've got more time for that because going on, there was a player there. Atlanta luckily have benefited from everyone else's hard work with getting that boy straight. But the mad thing is, the more minutes he takes, the more frustrated we're left. And the more he's devaluing our football club. Because the more minutes he plays, he's depriving someone like Mikey Moore playing. And you know what you do then? You say, oh, but he's too young. Maybe we need to give him more time. Or, but you say, oh, actually, he's just not good enough. So you do the Oliver Skip thing and sell him. But this is what I say to people. While the likes of him are playing at this football club, where's your next Oliver Skip £25 million coming from? Where's your next £7 million fucking Troy Parrott coming from? But then, when if you've got none of that money coming from the academy, oh, Daniel Levy's going to put that money in. Is he and buy the next lot of players? It's a joke. The man shouldn't be playing at our football club. And I understand that we've made the decision that now he's part of our squad, so he's going to have to play. But I think his minutes come in desperation. He shouldn't be playing for us. He's not at the level. Every pundit that watches us play turns around and says, Tottenham are great, but Werner not good enough. Simon Jordan said it. Fucking the idiot Andy Gray said it. Fucking Redknapp said it. Roy Keane said it. Fucking Neville said it. The guy that interviews Neville when he does his podcast, the guy that's asking, is it Tyler? He said it. Danny Kelly said it. Doesn't matter how many people watched Werner, yeah, with their eyes and that have watched football, they say he's not at the level to deliver what Tottenham need. He's nowhere near it. Shouldn't even be on the bus. He shouldn't even be taken up a seat on the bus, yeah, to go to Old Trafford. Because I'd rather someone have the leg room. He's a complete waste of our time. Waste of our time. He makes me upset. When I watch him play, he makes me upset that we're at that level.
Alex, got anything to add?
Well, like I say, like
Would you rather, Alex? Before you answer, would you rather Werner or Brennan Johnson?
I wouldn't have either, to be honest with you.
You got to pick one. You can only have one.
I wouldn't have either. I just couldn't have either. I just can't do. I can't do this question, Marlon. If I have to answer the question because I've got respect for your show, is that I'll put Johnson. I'll say Johnson just out of just because
you better be saying
my,
Johnson.
that's it. But it's like for me, like I just think we've just like I say, this is why I don't like backups. I don't do backups because if you want backups, you want Harry Winks. You might as well just get Bergwijn back. You might as well get Lamella back. You know
Stop
what I
trying
mean?
to make Bergwijn happen.
No.
It's not going to happen.
I'm gonna keep on saying it, Jay, because it just rattles your brain
I
and that's
agree
it. I'm not
with
gonna
him
get
in
monkeys.
I
The point,
agree
the point,
with him in terms of Werner. Like to get rid of Bergwijn for £30 million and bring in Timo Werner on loan, which will cost us £40 million by the time he's gone next year. That's when Alex gets to bring up Bergwijn. It's very relevant.
No,
no,
It is very
it
relevant
is
because
relevant.
look, listen, Alex is right here.
it's
We
going to
are a
cost
club.
15 million max.
No. But listen to what Alex is saying. You can't
What's he
defend it all,
saying?
Jay. You can't defend it all, Jay. Yeah, some
What
things
am
that
I
Alex said.
defending?
No, but listen to what I'm going to say. Some things that Alex says we can't defend it.
What
Listen,
am I defending?
we had a £30 million winger 2 years ago. We
Okay,
sold a £30 million winger, yeah, to
right.
now have a £14 million loan signing. That is no. It's like if he bought us Griezmann, yeah, or he
Right.
brings us Chiesa on loan, we're not going to fucking moan. But Alex is rightly so. We had a £30 million winger. We've now
Okay.
got a winger on loan, yeah, that costs us half that amount of
No,
money.
but it didn't
That's
cost.
not good enough to be
Nah,
here.
nah, 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 nah. What was Bergwijn's wages? Because we're only paying Timo's wages, but with Bergval, we're talking about his transfer fee and not including his
Yeah,
wages.
yeah, but
But
what
let's
I'm
include
trying to
his
say
wages
is, no, but
first.
what I'm
And
trying
nah. I'm on to you two now. I'm on to you.
He's
There.
he's making a fair point. Listen,
Let me
listen,
find
Jay. No,
Bergwell's.
but Jay, listen, yeah.
Go on.
Striker wise,
Bergwijn.
Richarlison.
Bergwijn.
No, but you see Bergwijn, yeah. Richarlison, yeah, hasn't worked out for us, injuries, whatever. Alex, rightly so, doesn't want him at the club, yeah. But when you look at Solanke so far, that's a like for like replacement. They're not Harry Kane replacements, but what Levy hasn't done, yeah, is spent 60 million and say that hasn't worked out. I'm not spending that kind of money. He's brought in a like for like. So me and Alex and that, yeah, because I'm on that side of the table with him, we can't moan. But what you can't do, you can't fucking do it to me, mate. You can't sell me a £30 million generational winger at the time before his injury. He had a big injury here, and that's what everyone that needs to be context. But around that injury, he did deliver moments of why he was here. We still sold him for a profit.
Nah,
Yeah. No,
nah.
wait there.
Go on.
We still sold the guy for a profit. So to
Okay.
2 years on, yeah,
Yeah.
new stadium and everything else, box office is right.
No, he's not.
Season tickets are up. Everything's more expensive. Why have we got a cheaper player that's not good enough? He's not fit for purpose.
I'm not even
bro.
bothered about
Okay.
money, bro. I'm not even bothered about money because I can't talk about the owners because they're going to be here for ages. I
No,
don't
but
care
you're
about that.
right. We've gone
I
backwards.
hear what
That's
you put.
science.
Sabine, I'm on your point. The point I'm making is that we ain't got any better, and that's the point I'm making. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying? The
yeah.
thing is, though, if you sell a player, right, I expect better. That's why I
This is
say.
nasty. This is
That's exactly
nasty
why
work
I
from
say.
you two.
That's
This is a
exactly why I
nasty
say.
agenda that you two are trying to push.
I don't care. I don't
Nasty,
care. I don't care,
nasty
Jay. I
work.
don't care, Jay, because I've been 23 years and I've not won a decent trophy in my
Nah,
life. I'd say
what has that
never
got
seen
to
a FA
do
Cup.
with
The
Birdman?
point I'm making is, yeah, and that's why I want Højbjerg back in my midfield because I don't think we've got a good enough midfield, which is embarrassing because I said he's bang average.
Who
So
is now?
what is to
Who's
work that
bang
one
average now?
out?
Who's
That's
bang
the
average
point.
now?
It's like I said before. Demo Werner is not helping our squad,
Our
right?
fourth
He's not
choice
helping. We
winger.
are only bringing him in to keep Mikey Moore, giving him a chance, and that's it. And that is the
Okay.
wrong attitude,
Why is it the
right?
wrong
You do
attitude?
not see that at Manchester United. You do not see that
Yes,
at
you do,
Liverpool. You
Alex. You
do
do
not
see
see
that
that
at
at
Man
Arsenal.
United.
You
Why
do not see
United
that
not
at
bought
Chelsea.
another left
You do
winger
not see
to
that at
not
any
block
top club.
Garnacho's pathway?
You don't see that at
You
Man
do see
City.
it.
What?
You
What?
choose not
You
to
do
see
no
it.
no 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 no.
That's the point.
You
You
do
choose
not
not
see it.
to see it because it would
No,
make your
no,
point
no.
weaker.
Don't,
That's the
bro,
whole point
the
about it.
main event is speaking. The main event is speaking. Yeah,
All
and he's
right,
letting
go
yourself
on, go
know.
on.
Point is, yeah,
Guys, check
right.
the data.
I want to see.
Is the
I want to
viewership
see.
going down?
What I want to see, right, is that the thing is though, right, is that we get players that are going to compete. That is the point, right? And that is what's going to get us over that line. Because I tell you this for a fact, yeah, if it was anything decent, right, if we weren't doing anything when these players are decent, look at Van der Ven right now. If he has a good season this season, what he's going right now, right, top teams are looking at him, yeah, and he'll
And
be
what's
off.
going to happen with those
He'll
teams
be
looking
off.
at him?
He'll be off
What are we
out the
going to do?
door.
Go on, say something
You know, like
stupid
Sol
like we're going to
Campbell
sell
did.
him. Go
Like
on.
Sol Campbell, like Ledley King,
Behave
like
yourself,
Teddy
bro.
Sheringham, like
Behave
all those
yourself,
top
bro.
players that went left just because they didn't want to, they
Bro, Van der Ven.
couldn't take it anymore.
If a team's got 100 million to give us for Van der Ven, maybe we'll consider it. Bar
Yeah,
that, don't worry your pretty little head about Van der
yeah.
Ven leaving this.
He's on the 7-year death row, bro. He's got
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Levy put
The
a
funniest thing, people.
dodgy,
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Van der Ven, and there was another one. They're all on 7-year death rows, bro. They're here for the long, like they're here for the career. You know,
Bro, they could be here for ages and ages and ages. Yeah, you don't need to do that much to twist someone's mind to just wanting to leave.
yeah, of
You know what I mean?
course.
They've
All
got
right,
no
Yeah,
loyalty
Alex,
to this
I
club.
agree with that.
They've got
Alex,
no
we're a
loyalty
hard
to this
club.
club.
Alex, we're a hard club to leave. Don't
Oh
act
yeah, well,
like we're an
great,
easy
great,
club to
great,
leave.
but
We're like baby reindeer out here, bro. You can't leave us. What are you talking about, bro? You know.
like
I
I said
agree with
before,
you though on
yeah,
Werner.
I got that wrong about Lily King leaving. Yes, I know. But you know that there's top players that left this club. That's what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying.
the last one
But
was Walker though.
back on the point of Werner, I'm just saying at the moment is that we all knew he was the wrong type of player that we needed. We needed somebody who was going to give knew that needle and be that foil for a young player like Mikey Moore to say, well, this is the standard. You need to lift up your standard, yeah, to get yourself up there. You see what I'm saying? Rather than getting
No,
Timo
100%,
Werner, is
100%.
not happy. It's just average.
What can Mikey Moore learn from Timo Werner? If anything, he's going to learn bad
Exactly. He's not
habits.
learning nothing though, isn't it, Spring? That's
No,
it.
it's true. I'll be honest with you. It's like Alex is right. It's like you hang around with millionaire, might become rich. You hang around with broke people, you'll
What's
probably
Sonny?
end up
What's
broke.
Sonny
But
then?
wait there. You'll probably end up broke. And I know we've got good players, but the honest truth is, yeah, I don't want Mikey Moore around the likes of Werner. I
Oh,
don't.
you're a fool. You're a
Jay,
fool.
No,
life
I'm
is
being
tough,
real with you.
bro.
I'm being
Life
real
is
with you. I
bloody
don't
You're
want
a
tough,
him around
fool.
bro.
Werner.
He's not gonna suddenly teach you how to
No.
miskick the ball. Don't be a fucking
But
idiot.
life is tough, bro, man.
This
Where
guy's
you're
a fucking
talking like a little
ridiculous.
school kids,
Oh,
bro. Come on now, bro. What's
Werner's
this
shit
all
ball
about, bro?
striking is not
Jay,
contagious.
take the
What do
shield
you
away.
mean?
Jay, take the shield away from Werner, yeah?
I'm
He's a
not.
lovely lad,
I'm just saying.
but
Obviously, he's not gonna catch not being able to finish. Do you know what I
Leroy,
mean?
listen. He ain't even up to the standards, yeah, to mow the lawn on the pitch. He'd probably fuck up the lines, bro.
Oh, you
He's
guys,
not good enough.
you guys.
Not good enough. He's just.
Nasty
I'm
work
not
by
saying
these
it being
boys
rude.
tonight.
He's not good enough. And you know what it is? Box office is right, yeah? Like, I would rather, and a lot of Spurs fans would rather.
Stop this.
It's like,
I've heard you say box
no,
office is right like 4 times, like
no,
5
but
times,
he's
and I
right in
might
that. No, but
malfunction.
do you know
I
what it
swear
is?
to God.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I see Tottenham fans moan about how good Saka's become and all that, and how good Cole Palmer is. Do you know the differences between them players? They're allowed to fucking go and play. And I don't understand, yeah, if we had, yeah, Savinho and players like Grealish and stuff, rightly so, Mikey Moore, you're 16, 70 years of age, you sit your ass on the bench, you shut the fuck up, you wait for your chance. But we ain't that good, bruv. We ain't got players that are good enough to be in front of him. And what I see is you might as well let him play now, to develop now, so that in 2 years we have a player like Saka. He's not going to get as good as Saka playing behind Werner. If anything, he's going to go backwards because that's the environment that he's in. Don't just be like, because Johnson's scoring 4 goals in 4 games. That's
I'm
Johnson.
not. I'm not.
Understand?
That's
But
fair.
Werner, I'm sorry, bruv. I'm telling
That's
it as it
listen.
is.
I'm not. Listen.
He has got nothing. He's got nothing in his game that Mikey Moore can learn from. And then,
Right.
when that is said, he shouldn't be playing in front of him.
Right. Listen.
He's
My
not. He's
point.
not even one of our players, bro. It's
Right, listen,
embarrassing.
and you're not wrong. Like, so what I'm trying to say is there's not enough data on Werner this season for you to be
Oh,
categorically
I hate
right.
this
That's
data.
no, no,
It's
no,
so
no, 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 no,
annoying.
no, no, no.
I
Listen,
hate FIFA. I can't
you had your
stand
moment, Mr.
FIFA.
Box
I can't
Office.
do it.
No, I don't have a nickname for myself yet, but I'll come up with one for next time. But yeah, Jay's speaking. So what I'm trying to say to you is that the
Righteous
data.
Jay.
That's what. No, because this is what you boys always do. You tell me that we've got enough data to say someone's shit, but we never have enough data to say somebody's good 6 games in, or 2 games in, or 1 game in. That data
Or
is never
20
sufficient.
or
You
20
guys always have data to say someone's
or
shit.
29 games. All the 29 games he's played for Spurs.
Hey,
And he's been
it's a new
absolute
season.
gold.
Half you guys would have sold Kulusevski last season for what he gave us last season. It's a
Yes,
new
I would.
season.
I'll
You've
do
got to
it
be fair
tomorrow.
to everybody. Yeah? Yeah?
No, but I
Okay,
knew
Jay,
Kulusevski's
Jay,
there.
Jay, 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 Jay. I actually agree with that point about Kulu, yeah.
Yeah,
But
everyone would have
but
sold
but
him.
but I'm gonna sit there and say Werner's still coming in the games that he's played and
Yeah.
still giving us what he's had last season.
Yeah, and
We
listen,
don't need data for that. We don't.
I'm not trying to. All I'm trying to say is his performance against United was acceptable. Yeah,
It wasn't though, really,
It
because
wasn't.
he gave
It
the
really
ball
It
wasn't.
away.
was
He
acceptable.
gave the
It was
ball away.
acceptable, guys. Let's
He
not lie.
gave the
It was an
ball away.
acceptable
He gave
performance.
the ball away the most. He completed 1 dribble, was it? His
Bro, we
passing
beat United
accuracy
3
was
0
low.
away. Come on, man. Being the
Nah,
worst
bro.
player,
I'll be
being the
real.
worst player in an
Listen,
amazing
Jay.
performance. What's
Listen,
so bad
Jay.
about
Yeah.
that?
We're gonna
Somebody's
have
got to be the worst
more
player.
moments.
Listen, Jay. I'll
It
say
was an
this, Jay.
amazing performance.
More
Somebody's got to be
moments
the
to talk
worst
about
player
Werner.
out of 11 amazing players.
Listen, Jay.
Listen,
Hey
This is what I was about to get
guys,
to, Jay.
the master needs to speak.
Jay,
The
Jay,
Jay,
master
I,
needs to speak.
Supreme,
I was
A
just
Supreme.
about to
Spade needs
say
to
I
this.
listen,
speak.
I listen,
I was
listen.
just
Hold
about
on,
to say
wait,
A
this.
Spade needs
wait.
to
Box
speak, bruv.
office.
Supreme,
Box office.
chill,
Just
chill,
quick.
chill,
Just
chill,
quick.
chill. We'll have
Jay,
enough
the
time to
2
talk about
games he
Werner.
started.
Don't worry. Listen, we'll get into it. Listen, the reason why I want to cut it off real quick is because I want to break down this United game, and I actually want to talk about Brighton. And there is a game that we're playing in Europe, and there's not a lot of time left. So that's the reason why I'm going to cut down.
Okay, yeah. Fenrir Cavos.
Werner will come up. Werner will come up. I promise you, and we'll get back to it. We'll do a part 2 to the stream. We'll come back.
Yeah, you've
We'll
got off
visit.
the hook this time, mate.
Oh, yeah. That's what they all say.
God of mercy. All right, hold on. Let me talk about Man United Spurs. So obviously you can see the momentum bar. We all saw the game. We pretty much dominated it. They had moments, but you can see where they had their moments was. They had a small period in the game when they did get back into it, despite being 10 men. I think the 10 men actually helped them. Bruno not being there, I think that actually helped them play better. But that's my opinion. Anyway, there's how they lined up. Obviously, they played in the 4-2-3-1. We played in the 4-3-3. You know our formation. We're not going to go over it. Obviously, the Timo Werner, you can see, is a 6.1, but we'll get into that in a second. We'll get into that, don't worry. We'll revisit that. That's their average positions for Manchester United. And as you can see, they're quite central. There's not a lot of width other than there's not a lot of width at all. Their fullbacks are their width, if you look at it closely, because the arrow's pointing downwards and that's where they're attacking. And they thought that, I think, they thought Andrew's going to set up in a narrow team, because that's how we do with both the fullbacks inverting and blah blah blah. That's what Ten Hag thought. He thought both fullbacks going to invert. We're going to pack the midfield out, Solanke, blah blah blah, and that's why I think they kind of said, let's keep most of our players quite central. For Spurs, on the other hand, we were slightly different. As you can see, we had a lot more width in this. 37 is Van der Ven, 70 is Romero, and then number 23, obviously that's Porro. So that's almost looking like a back three with Bentancur number 30 very close to the two centre backs. So we've almost got a back three as an average position, and Bentancur looking like he's playing an anchoring role right there, with the other players, six of them, higher up in the opposition's half. So that will, you can read into that what you want, but that's the average positions for Ange Spurs. Sorry, high turnovers. They had 5, leading to shots 0. We had 9 high turnovers, leading to 3 shots, as the stars can show. You can see. So the turnovers are actually working. We're actually creating things off the back of it. The next stat is the passing metrics. The passing metrics, you can see Vicario on
hang it in the Louvre. Do you see that? Do you look at that passing, man? Oh.
Van der Ven obviously passing between Romero. You can see that line's very strong, and Romero passing back to Van der Ven. There was an outball from Mickey Van der Ven into James Maddison, number 10. You can see that's quite strong. And there's a small little diamond. I don't know if you can see that. So we'll create not just triangles, but diamonds. And what the diamond means, it's superiority, meaning that we outnumber teams in their in their own half, or when we're trying to break teams down, we can beat them on one side. And we definitely played out the back a lot more on the left hand side. Not to say we didn't do it on the right hand side, but you can see the passing networks were heavily on the left hand side, with with Werner number 16 the highest up, Maddison not too far behind, and you see your doggy. Those two swapped quite a bit. So the doggy did invert, but you can see generally sometimes he was out wide. Then you've got number 19, Solanke, further out wide, with Kulu looking like he's the furthest forward as the striker. But you can see where his pass map's going into him and Johnson. So that's your passing maps right there. The next clip here just showed progressive carries. Progressive carries. You can see that Madison and Kulu quite high, but in terms of progressive passing, Romero led the way in terms of progressive passing in that metric. You've got Werner and Johnson quite high, further back, and then your doggy. But all of our players were leading all of the stats metrics are here. So you can see that we were the most progressive team when it came to passing the ball and carrying the ball in those positions. Non-penalty XG, I know people don't really like this, but non-penalty expected goals. So how many times we had a proper goal scoring chance, like how great was that chance compared to Man United? You can see that we completely out dominated them. Some of these metrics were done not by Opta, but a guy called Mark Stats. So that's why different people have different metrics, and I've seen it's 5 on Opta. 5, they called it 5 on their one. The next stat here, normal stats. This is back the actual game. So VDV wins the ball high up with interception. Before he does this, guys, there's a lot of pressing that Spurs do before he actually intercepts this ball. And I was going to put it in, but I thought, you know what? If people want to see it, go watch the game. Go watch the game back. Within the first 2 minutes, Solanke's leading that press. He's pressing the goalkeeper, then he's pressing the lip. And that's what forces a small turnover. Anyway, the second turnover, this is the second part of the turnover, when we win that ball back, and it's Mickey Van der Ven intercepting that ball from Marcus Rashford. He picks that ball up, and then you know what he does next. He literally gets that ball, and he gets that channel, and he starts running. He just literally sees the space and open up. And what I put here is, as a centre back, can we use Mickey Van der Ven in more games as a weapon? Can we use him to break lines in a central defender role where we need to kind of spring attacks when sometimes the pass isn't on? And the reason why I mention this is because I looked at Inzaghi at Inter Milan, and they use Bastoni, they use some of their centre backs to break presses, to carry the ball, to add an extra attack where teams aren't expecting it and they actually allow their centre backs to carry the ball. It's the second time he's done it this season. I know it's because the space has opened up, but I'm just saying, could it be? I'm just asking that question to open up people's brains, open up, have that conversation. That's what I'm saying. And that was the reason why I wanted Calafiori, because Calafiori used to do it for Bologna. Motta used them in that way. And I'm seeing a new trend where centre backs turn into weapons. And I do see the old rhetoric where you look at Mickey Van der Ven, you look at his profile, and you think he should be a wing back or he should be a left back. But in modern day football, you're seeing false nines, you're seeing inverted full backs, you're seeing wingers playing midfield. All I'm asking is this a new dawn for new centre backs and new style players that are not only good on the ball, but they can actually spring attacks? But that's just my little theory, but that's my little point.
You know this run, right? Because I mentioned this the other day, and I don't know why it did, but did it remind you a lot of the way Gareth Bale used to run into those spaces?
Yes. When he started to make his name, I think I spoke to Box Office about it as well, and I said,
No, but what you've said is very poignant because you've got Calafiore, Alex Boniorno of Napoli just bought these the centre backs. They step out with the ball, they carry the ball, and they take They take on midfielders. Like that's a new thing that they're taught to do. Guardiola, again, this is the right people liked him because he was a great defender. But as you can see, he can carry the ball, he can score goals. And I think what you're saying, Ash, I think it's happening. I think these defenders, if you look closely, they exist. Diamonde, is it, for Sporting Lisbon? He, again, when the opportunity's there, will get on the ball and he'll drive forward with it. There's another one, Hinchcape. He, again, he's more of an offensive defender that, again, is happy on the ball to carry the ball into areas normally a centre-back wouldn't. So I think these players, Ash, they exist. I think if you look at between the five major leagues, there's at least 2 or 3 players that play in that way. And I think that it's a valid point. I think that he does it great, but I think he could be doing it more.
Yeah, exactly. Poor defender from Manchester United because there's a gap. And I think Ten Hag did this on purpose. He likes his 2 centre-backs to play close to each other. But what happened was because he set up narrow, and you can see there's a 2-2 there in the defence and in the midfield, and then you can see the other 2 in front. It's almost like a 2-2. It's almost like a train. He was expecting Spurs to be ultra narrow. But what Ange did, and people criticize Ange for not adapting, not being flexible in his tactics. I think here he actually said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go wide. I'm going to make these players a bit wider than that. Showed on the pass map and the average positions that you've got your winger and your fullback, one in front, one behind almost. And they did interchange, but I just saw that as something a little bit different from Ange. I thought he needs
one thing just to add on that quickly was that I genuinely believe that we're seeing now the team almost trying to perfect the first version of what they're trying to do. And that then allows the team to be layered in different ways. I've seen now against Brentford and against United, Porro and Udogie are overlapping. They're playing as more natural fullbacks. And I think Udogie technically played as a wing back almost in this game in terms of the positions he was taking up. But the idea to me then is that the team is able to move from we're going to play with you inverted, you're going to play, and the players are going to be able to be fluid in terms of that and be able to play multiple positions and then be much more difficult to pick up. But you've got to perfect it in both ways. And I think in the last couple of games, you've seen the fullbacks in the Premier League, at least, staying wider. And now we're looking at, you're seeing different variations. And to an extent, you got to say maybe there's a logic of saying we're playing Kulu, we're playing Madison. These are 2 number 10s. You fullbacks need to get the hell out of their space. As simplistic as that, maybe we're seeing little tweaks of that now because Ange wants the playmakers to have room. And you see then Madison goes out to the left wing. Some plays a little bit more inverted. Brennan's playing a little bit more inside forwardy because he knows Porro can overlap him. I'm seeing tactical threads that in different games and different outputs that definitely, if they were there last season, they weren't as pronounced, and I wasn't noticing them with as much clarity as I am now. You know?
I agree. Just showing here, obviously, space opens up, he attacks it, he breaks in, gets to the byline, and then you know what happens next. Brendan Johnson, to be fair to him, is in the right place, right time. Dello should have followed him. He wasn't there. didn't pick his man up, but that's happened time and time again. Here, I just picked up a little clip where we win the ball back high up, well, in our defensive third, sorry, and it's his doggy that wins that ball, wins the challenge off Garnacho. And I thought I'll quickly mention his defensive performance because I thought he actually did well to kind of marshal Garnacho, especially in the pockets at times as well, as you can see here, doing a job being a fullback. You can see the back three there I highlighted as well. We played in the three as the map shows, so I want to actually visually show it as well. And then actually, Kulu, as I mentioned earlier in the show, the reason why now he's being trusted as a midfielder, you can see him looks like a ghost, but he's running back. It's a blurred shot for when I took the screenshot. He's doing his defensive work. He's actually running him back. He knows he needs to be, and he's actually picking up and intercepting that ball there. He's actually picked up ball, picked it off the player, and then all of a sudden Spurs win the ball and we're out. Here's a pressing triggers. Show the arrows there. Werner pressing Mazraoui as a pressing trigger, and then that's when Madison jumps. So Madison jumps there, Ugarte on the ball. That's a pressing trigger. And you can see Madison looking like a ghost there, literally running up him. And then if we win the ball high up, it's a high turnover. We're close to their edge. We're close to their area, and all Madison needs to do is thread it maybe to Solanke, and something can happen. So the next clip, he shows it there. He wins that ball up. He looks at Solanke. Now, can Solanke shape to shoot? That's my only thing. My critique of Solanke, sometimes, I know he's fresh. I know he's new. Yeah, he might be rusty. People say he didn't have much of a preseason, so I'm putting that all into account. But there was times I saw against that Leicester game. There's times against Arsenal. Can he get it to? Sometimes you're not always going to get your first touch under. Sometimes you need to just open your body up,
Yeah.
shape to shoot, and maybe
One thing is on that I've noticed is sometimes when he doesn't feel the defender behind him, when he doesn't feel the defender in very close proximity,
Yeah.
he may sometimes have a tendency to take too long to pull the trigger because he's not sensing the fact that somebody is there to close him down. It's almost it's not quite awareness, but it kind of is. It's like a get your shot off kind of thing, like a ruthlessness to try and score. Maybe that's what it is.
I agree. Too much time to think. Another clip will come and show that. So, but yeah, here Onana goes long to Rashford. This is one of the chances they had, but I think our defenders were mobile enough to keep up with him, Rashford, and then the keeper got the save. This clip here, I said Solanke drops deep into the midfield, and by him dropping into the midfield, he's creating space. He's going to pull wide here in this incident. So I've circled him here. He's actually pulled wide. As he's pulled wide, you can see I pointed an arrow to Porro because Porro, that's going to be his next pass. But can you see the area where I've highlighted? I've put a little square area there because that gives more space for Bentancur and a player like even a doggy. A doggy's averted there. There's a space for a doggy to come in. And so it's showing a little bit more fluidity in terms of us in our build-up. We're showing differences and ways we can break teams down. And the reason why I highlighted this clip was because it doesn't have to be Man United. Man United have 11 men here. This could be another team. I'm looking at patterns of play. What can we bring into our next game? What are these? You can tell, is there an element of coaching here? Is there an element of, okay, they're understanding about diamonds, triangles, box midfields, Solanke dropping in, relationships on the pitch. Are they having football IQ? Is that football IQ? Are they understanding the spaces and the areas that they need to arrive in? Counter runs, so that's why I highlighted that area there. Obviously, the ball comes into him. Solanke gets the ball under pressure and he gets it under. It sticks to him. But as it sticks to him, what can he do with it? He's able to pull out wide. And as I said, he's emptied that midfield. He's gone wide. Does he have the minerals to hold on to the ball? Yes, he does. He gets down the wing. He commits some plays. But Madison, I've circled there. He knows to jump into the number 9 role. So now you're seeing Madison become almost like a false 9 now because he's jumping into his role. Kulusevski, he's in space. Solanke has enough physicality to beat 2 players and take them out the game because you can see there's 2 players there and they're actually following him. So because he's taken 2 players out the game, all of a sudden Bentancur, who he's facing, right, back to goal, but Bentancur's facing forward, he's now got space and time because of what Solanke's done. And even he could probably find a player in front. So what happens next? Gets that ball into Madison. Madison on a half turn, and then after that half turn, I'm pointing an arrow because we're going from right to left really quickly. And the reason why I've mentioned from right to left really quickly is because we pulled Man United from right, because you can see all of their players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players pulled out to the right hand side. And now all of a sudden there's space for Werner on that left hand side. And that's down to, I would say, good planning, preparation on the pitch, on the training ground. Anyway, Cam Werner running behind. Sorry, Cam Werner find a doggy, because the doggy's making that run. Does he has a football IQ, and does he know the pattern of play to find the doggy? He can see he's facing forward. The doggy's making that run. I'm putting those arrows there to say, look, just do a nice weighted pass for the doggy to get into that channel. Once the doggy's in that channel on the edge of that box to the byline, then a doggy could do a cutback to either Kulusevski, or he could fight across the 6-yard box to Solanke to tap in. And those are the type of goals that we practice in the training ground week in, week out. Instead, he doesn't do that, and he passes inside, and the doggy's run is wasted. However, Madison is here in this space, picks it up, and what Madison's able to do, he's able to have quick thought, a quick pass into Kulusevski. Kulusevski, the link up, they're on the same wavelength. They're able to interchange, and they do a little 1-2 back heel flick. Yeah, a little 1-2 back heel flick. Now Madison's touch is a little bit heavy, takes him a little bit further than he needs to be, takes him wide, and then that's when you're seeing Onana come out, and he tries to do that same dink finish he did against Brentford, but Onana was there well, and he comes out and he ends up saving it. All right. Man, you clear it. But then we win the ball back again. We win the ball back. We press well. Bentancur finds Madison. Madison finds Kulu. He spins him. Doggy makes that run this time. He's found by Kulu, but then he hits that ball over the bar, and he's unlucky in this one. Spurs playing out the back. Romero into Vicario. Vicario into the doggy. The doggy finds Werner. Werner does a 1-2. A doggy all of a sudden looks like a wing back. He's running down that line. He gets his head up and he passes to Kulu. And what I like is when you're seeing our wingers or our wing backs running, I like to see players are running with him. Do you understand? It's giving them an option, something to aim at. And you can see Solanke, the focal point in between the two centre backs. And you can see Kulu running onto the ball with Johnson far right. Ball comes into Kulu. Kulu looks like he's going to shoot. What does he do? He passes it to Johnson, and this is where Johnson gets his shot off. And unfortunately, the width of the post, he hits that shot. Otherwise, he could have had 2 goals right there and then. So it was unfortunate there. It hits it. Romero doing a very brave pass. I wanted to talk about this pass because I thought he showed bravery. Loads of defenders, they're not going to make this pass because they're going to want to go back to their goalkeeper. There's a chance between these two players that, they could win this ball. But I like Kulu points to where he wants it. He said, put it there with pace. I'm going to get there. Where he does, he checks one way and then he goes the other to receive that ball in between the lines. He gets that, as he gets that ball in between the lines, he turns and it looks like a counterattack all of a sudden. It's like, Ross, Spurs are doing a counterattack. It's not that, it's the bravery that Ange wants our players to do. He wants us to play with bravery. And that's when Kulu's able to turn and gets that ball. We're in between the lines, and then he uses his strength to beat the man, finds a doggy in that midfield. The doggy finds Werner. Werner's out wide. What does Werner do? Right? Werner's got a chance to cross it into the box and pick out 4 players that have circled. 4 players there. And the reason why I put this point out was not just to show the big misses that Werner did. It was to show the IQ of Werner, but also the execution. And as Supreme and Alex was saying earlier, and even Jay, fortunate for us, these moments here, they weren't crucial. So can he pick out any player? Unfortunately, he can't, and it goes wide. All right, fair enough. That happens. Fair enough. Cool. Romero passes into Solanke, into Poro. Poro passes to Solanke. Solanke holds up the ball. If Solanke could turn on him, then he could see that Kulu is in a dangerous area. But obviously, his back's to him. He can't see him. What does Solanke do? He does well. He holds it up, pulls wide. He dribbles past 2 Man United players. So he's got good ability on the ball. He finds Poro and he keeps possession for us. As he finds Kulu, Kulu finds that ball, Finds that ball across. Obviously, Werner's there waiting, but it's blocked. Here's a cheeky Romero scissors kick. A cheeky Romero scissors kick. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Romero, if he pulls this one off, I'm going mad. I said, oh my days, Romero is full of confidence at this point. And obviously, it doesn't quite come off. I didn't get the quite cleanest shot of that one, but yeah. Rashford has a cross into Garnacho. Garnacho hits the bar, hits the post, comes to nothing. Ball goes out, quick turn. Kulu's 1v1. We know what happens next. Now I'm saying, can Werner go around him? He's got so much pace. Can he go around the keeper? He doesn't. He hits it straight to the keeper. Red card incident. I don't know if you guys want to talk about this, but I don't think it was a red personally.
Well, he's been
Much to
it's been
say, is there?
overturned. It's been overturned, by the way.
Been
Yeah,
overturned. I don't think there's much to say.
yeah, there's not
And
much.
they would have lost that game if he would. I think they would have lost heavily. I think he
Well,
would have got on more people's backs. They all would have got more. What's the word? Disconsolate, and I think they would have. I think they would have lost 5-6 if he would have stayed on the
yeah,
pitch.
I think so too. I agree with that. I think Bruno going off was a blessing in
They
disguise.
started to play better in the second half without him.
Yeah, exactly. So here in this clip, Porro receives the ball out wide, and as you can see, Porro is playing wide again. So this whole inversion, you have to give credit where it's due. Porro playing out wide, and you can see Johnson ahead of him. So he's actually playing as a fullback, slightly deeper. In this position, he finds Johnson. Johnson comes inside with a dribble, finds Solanke. Solanke finds it into Kulu. Kulu finds it, and then Solanke's on the run. It just doesn't get him, but it's a nice passage to play. Solanke, fun and deep, wins that ball. So just before that action, he actually won the ball, and then the header happens. This is the second half, by the way. So he wins that ball high up. He drops into that midfield, wins a header, and it breaks to Johnson. And then Johnson's obviously fired that cross and it's deflected into Kulusevski's path. And then that's when Kulusevski's changed the shape of his body to get that finish, that Karate Kid, that kind of that Bruce Lee fly kick. He gets in the goal. So yeah, that was great improvisation by Kulu. Top goal, man. I love that goal. It was great. And yeah, we're 2-0 up, and at this point, we're fully confident. Spurs playing out from the back again, goes into Kulu, sticks to him. He bounces one player, bounces to two players, bodies him, carries that ball, looks for Werner, finds that ball, threads it into Werner. Werner 1-on-1 on goal, no confidence, hits it straight at the keeper, doesn't put enough power on it, enough position. Solanke dropping deep, again, finds Johnson, and as he picks out the right player in Kulu, yes, he can find Kulu. So the reason why I kept mentioning Solanke jumping off, he just helps so much in the build-up play. And I'm not calling him a false 9. I'm not calling him a 9.5, but him dropping in, pulling away from centre backs, he's an extra man in midfield, and he helps create diamonds and an extra man in midfield. And centre backs don't know whether to stay with him or leave him and do what he's doing, and that's just given us superiority in the midfield. Manu trying to do a block here. Porro passing into Kulu with pace. He stings it. Kulu turns, takes out 6 players with that turn, by the way, and he finds a pass into the path of Jed Spence, who had then come on through a doggy. Obviously, he came off a half turn with a slight injury, muscle injury, and he didn't want to risk it. But I think he's fit enough to play for Brighton, by the way. But yeah, it goes on to Spence. Spence goes down the sides, finds Werner. Werner gets that ball. Now I'm asking that question: can he cut it back? Don't know if you can see that's a bit blurred, but can he cut it back? Can he find any of his teammates? But he fires across again. Decision making, in my opinion, it goes over. And yeah, we've spoken about Werner not making the right decision in that final third. Again, Werner high up the pitch, puts the boosters on, beats his man, slows it down, then beats him again. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. What are you gonna do here? Then he has a chance to pick up players again. I've circled 3 players. You've got Solanke pointing back stick. You've got I think it's Kulu running in there, and you've got Madison on the edge of the D as well. So he's got 3 players, 3 choices he can do. You've got 3 centre backs all running towards a goal. Can Werner critically make in that fast decision, in those fast moments, in those important moments, can he make a decision quickly and pick out his man? Unfortunately, he cannot.
Can I one little bit of defense for Werner on that? Yeah,
Go for it.
is that for me, that's really unlucky for Werner because Maddison
No,
stops his run.
fair
Yeah,
enough.
when
Let it
he
go.
should continue. Yeah, no. If you pull it back, just pull it back there because Maddison stops his run when he should continue, and Brennan doesn't stop his run. Do you see what I mean? So in this situation, Maddison stops, and if he walks onto it, he gets a one-touch finish, and Brennan doesn't stop. So if Brennan stops, he would get the ball as well. So it just like the players just made different decisions in real time. Maddison doesn't stop. Like so saying neither of them pull back. Like
Well,
Maddison should keep going and Brennan should pull back, but they do it the other way around.
no,
But
but
then,
for me,
doesn't it say
it's
that
the
Werner's
execution.
not looked up to see what's
Yeah,
going
but what
on?
I'm saying is he's cut it back to the edge of the box. One of the two of them should have been on the edge of the box in theory.
Yeah, but in theory, yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
in theory,
I'm not
yeah.
saying he didn't do a bad decision, but I'm saying that it looks bad because both of the other two players have
But
split.
But then this just comes down to his IQ, where he's not even looking at what he's doing. He's just doing something without actually looking up to
Like
see
Jack
where his
Grealish
players
the
are.
other weekend, when Jack Grealish, when Man City needed that goal the other day, he came on, got in that position, got his head up, made the right pass. So it's like that's what we expect. And
Yeah,
it's like you can say, yeah, they didn't do this and they didn't do that, because what you're then hoping is that they're making up for the lack of quality and wherewithal of Werner, and they should not have to worry about is Werner got his head up.
yeah,
They've got into the position. Werner should be finding them. It shouldn't be Werner's ball could find them. It should
yeah.
be he should
Yeah,
be
it's
playing the
Of
true.
course,
ball
no,
to,
and you're
to
not
get.
wrong. My only thing to not kill him though is like I don't know should somebody have hung back when they do these drills? Well, because Johnson's not in position, yeah, to get the back stick. You could make an argument. Werner could take his man on again,
All
put
right,
it
okay.
across the box.
You
Do you
pull
know
it
what I
back
mean?
a little bit. Hold on, let's see. Because I think what
So,
happened.
see where Johnson is,
No,
he's
that's
basically
Solanke. Solanke.
yeah,
That's
that's Solanke. Sorry,
Solanke.
basically where
Solanke's
Solanke is.
waiting back
Yes,
stick.
like so Werner should
Pointless.
really cut it onto his left and drive it across the box.
Which, to be honest, we was all expecting because
Yeah,
that's what Werner's good at. But
but
he chose not to for some.
exactly. So basically, he almost
That
like
sounds
this
like
is
you then,
he
no?
almost had decision overwhelm. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? As in, like, I get what you guys. He's made a bad decision, but it's almost like you know when people get that situation and it's like you get a player running. It's like that cross
But
shot. He doesn't know if he's
the
gonna.
point I was making, unless okay, this is one highlight, but if you
Yeah,
look at the other points I was making in the first half, he was getting into the right position, and I give you credit for that. He was pulling wide, and he was finding those pockets where he could hurt teams. But the delivery, the execution was always off in the first half, and the crossing sometimes do a low cross like you've been doing. He's going for the high cross. You know what I mean? Even the second half, he's gone for a high cross where it beats everyone and everyone's just looking at him. Even like if I move this clip on, which I shall, like when you move that cross on, look at the body language. Look at them. Look, oh, I missed it. That all of their like even look at Solanke. Look,
I was actually quite annoyed at Madison for that. Like
but
because
look
I'm
at
like,
Solanke. Look at Solanke. You can't believe it. He's actually
but
he's
Madison,
doing anime clothes like.
Yeah,
yeah,
Jay,
fair.
Jay,
I'm like, come on, guys, like it was a shit
Like,
pass.
Jay,
Jay's wank,
there
man.
we go. That's
Jay's
it.
Jay,
wank,
Jay,
and I'm sick
What?
of it, man.
Jay.
He's wank, man.
You have a slight vendetta against Madison, though.
No. I love Madison. I think he's got Bruno. I think he's got Bruno arms
Yeah,
sometimes when things aren't going right. He starts with the body
yeah.
language of being
You
flustered.
notice we picked on Werner. You picked on
Yeah.
Madison for
No,
not being on the edge.
I'm saying the body. Listen,
Listen,
the
I'm not
guy's
picking
made a
on
mistake.
Werner.
Yeah,
I'm not. Listen, Jay. To be fair, I'm not picking on him. I'm
I
just
know
picking.
you know. You're saying he made a
critiquing.
bad decision in that moment,
I'm
and you're
critiquing.
not
I'm
killing him.
critiquing because, and I don't want us to get to this point where on our fan base we're not allowed to critique.
Yeah, no, of course you are. Of course
You
you are.
have to be able to critique the
I'm
manager.
criticizing him,
coaching.
bro. He's useless. He's useless.
That's
And
fine, man. That's fine.
We have to
and the
be.
long and short of it is, do you know what I see it as? You could turn around and say, oh, but maybe Madison could have held his Pumas.
Okay.
Maybe Jed Spence needed to put more gas down in his F50s. But maybe if we had Kudos, maybe if we had Jack Grealish, maybe we wouldn't be talking about that. Maybe they would just cross the ball, they'd get their head up. You see, my dad always go on about my dad. My dad would roast me for that. My dad just get to the point, a bit like Mr. Box Office. I'd have a bad game and he'd say, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk because he wouldn't want to hurt my feelings.
Like I
And then
said,
later
yeah.
on, he might say, "Look, man,
Listen,
not good
Is
enough."
that the after tech talk? Well, Ashmatic, bruv. Yeah, I love you, Supreme. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love you, Jay. But let him finish, bruv, because he was
yeah, yeah,
saying
yeah,
something,
yeah,
bruv. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Fairs,
the
fairs,
guy
fairs,
the
fairs.
guy
Sorry,
now.
Yeah, I want to go bed.
sorry. Yeah, you know what I mean. The Werner Defense League has now rested its case.
All right.
Continue.
All right, so next point is real quick. I think Vicario plays a nice ball into Bentancur and what Bentancur does, he keeps it really short, really simple. He was doing this throughout the game. He was just keeping it, recycling possession, just doing first time passes, not overcomplicating things. And with this turn, a little half turn, he takes out two Manchester United midfielders. In fact, even three. I've circled two, but he's actually taken out three in theory. And as he's turned, he's able to find that pass. That pass has gone into into Porro. Porro is able to find Kulu in space, acres of space, and then Kulu's allowed to drive. And so the reason why I highlighted that Bentancur turning and then passing and finding Porro, again, when you're brave and you're able to get on the half turn, you've got players that can. Because Højbjerg couldn't do this. Højbjerg couldn't get on the half turn. I know we were asking for Højbjerg back, but the reason why I've got to put credit on Bentancur's name is because Bentancur on the half turn, that Højbjerg would have gone to pass backwards, sideways, back to the keeper because he can't see what's behind him. But Bentancur, having the awareness, he's able to turn, find Porro, and because we've done that, we've taken out three of their players. Porro's finding Kulu. Kulu's able to carry that ball up the pitch. As he's carried up the ball up the pitch, he's able to find Johnson the 4v4. Johnson gets the ball, crosses it, and then it goes out for a corner. As it's gone out for a corner, um, this is when the substitutions are made. When we've brought on Bergval, Saar, and we've brought on Mikey Moore. Now, I've circled this corner because we've heavily criticized Spurs for doing this, like poor defending, zonal marking, not man marking. But this time we're going to score off the back of it. So I've circled these players because we've outnumbered their centre back pairing, their full back pairing, their defenders. We've got three players going towards near post, bit like what Arsenal do. We've basically copied and pasted, and we've attacked the front post here. Three against two. Saar obviously jumps for it. And then Solanke striker instinct. He comes at the in the bit in the middle and he gets his goal. So here it is. I've circled Saar here. Saar on the near post beats his man with a little flick on. Back in the day, you used to
Say
see.
what it is, Ashmatic. It's the good old 1-2. These corners were exactly the same corners that Stellini and the Wizard were playing. This is exactly the same goal that we scored to equalise against Chelsea. We just stopped doing it.
No
Gone
man,
back to doing it, scoring goals from it. I've
yeah,
seen this before. We just stopped doing it for some reason.
yeah. Hold tight.
Exactly the same goal, Ashmatic. Somebody knocks, the tall player knocks on the ball at the front post. The other players occupy the space in the middle, and you have somebody running around the back who used to be Kane, and Kane would just tap it in. It's exactly the same goal we equalised with Chelsea with.
Lovely. And may long it continue, man, because that's what got us.
It works.
Oh.
It works.
It goes with the third goal, and then obviously before that actually happened, there was a lot of pressure on us. They were getting back into the game.
No, I gave. Sorry to interrupt you, Ange. I actually gave Ange credit for the substitutions because it made an instant impact
Yeah.
on that corner.
Jay, you hear that? Jay, where are you?
I said it on the channel. I said it on my channel, Mr. Box Office TV. I said it on other channels. I said by what I saw on Sunday, he did make an effect because Man United were showing a little bit of signs of going back into the game, and he made a substitution, and most of all those substitutions had an effect on getting the third goal, and that killed off Man United. That was done. Game, set, and match done.
And you missed an important point on that corner. Solanke's run. So when that corner's played in, you start seeing Solanke making that move forward before Saar's even headed it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why Solanke gets that goal. And that's the difference to sometimes when you have got a striker like Solanke who's a bit more wiser than Richarlison.
Yeah.
That he's going to put himself in those positions.
But I've already said I've gave credit to Solanke, even though I don't rate him because I've seen what Asmat has said already, and I do say that he has got a little bit more in terms of football IQ, in terms of what he needs to do to try and get be effective. You see what I'm saying? So I do hear your point, Marlon. You see what I'm saying? I do hear what Supreme said as well, because I have agreed with him, because I've seen it myself. And like I said, I gave credit to us because it was Ashmatic that told me this, and he was absolutely spot on. And it's helpful for this game. So yeah, just keep on subjects. We know we want to go. We need to finish. Go to bed now. But
Yeah,
I'm just
come on.
saying that's it.
Let's go on to the Europa League thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a nice clip ball that Vicario, I think he's getting it really well. He executes it quite well, sorry, because he's done it quite a few times. I've spotted him doing this. He does a little clip ball into Porro. You can see Porro at the edge of the screen, number 23, and he does it over Garnacho's head, and that's what helps to beat the press when he comes out. That ball right there allows Spurs to play higher up. As that ball's come in, he's able to turn.
What's the ball, by the way?
And on the half volley, oh my lord! I don't know. I think if this was Trent Alexander-Arnold, they'll be playing it on Sky Sports. They'll be talking about it on Talk Sport. But it's like the whole
Next year when Trent's gone to Real Madrid, they'll be talking about Porro. Don't worry.
on the half volley, wow, directly into Solanke's path. And this is where we actually critique Solanke now, because that ball there was dynamite. Ball goes into him over the top, pinpoint. Solanke finds himself in a 1v1, right? And one thing I forgot to mention, in those Werner moments, what I think should happen is, you see where Sar's positioned? Sar's positioned on the right-hand side of him.
Werner should be a lot closer.
Werner should be a lot closer, yeah. So there's an option, if Solanke hits it, keeper saves it, you can either tap it in, or you can do what Jackson did against Brighton. When Jackson was 1v1 against Brighton for Chelsea, he squares it to Cole Palmer, and Cole Palmer taps it in. Do you know what I'm saying? So I want to see some of our forward players when our...
But this is what Werner has stopped doing from last year, and I said this a couple of games ago. He was meant to be at the back post for one of Johnson's passes, and he's just not there. He's just not making those runs.
Not this game.
Not this game. It wasn't this game. It was another game.
I mean, like, this is Solanke's. Solanke should just score.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm just saying. I said for Werner, you see when Werner's struggling for confidence, and he's in a 1v1. Sometimes I want whoever's on the other opposite wing, whether it be Brennan Johnson or Solanke, if they can keep up with him, because Werner's so quick. If they can, you know that incident when Jackson was 1v1 and Jackson could score, you think, Jackson, you should score, and he squares it to Palmer. That's what I'm saying, isn't it? That's the only point I'm making. But yeah, 100%. This is why I said I'm going to critique Solanke, because 1v1, he should be finding the corners.
To be honest, this weren't Werner. This was Mikey Moore.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's a Mikey Moore.
Moore was
Man's like, get all that Werner slander out, and then at the end he's like, oh yeah, that wasn't Werner. Just like,
no, you're right.
In case you wouldn't.
Yeah, but it's still Werner. Yeah, but
it's still on site with you, Werner. It's still on site.
It's still.
I'll admit when I'm wrong, innit?
Yeah, you're a good man, Marlon. A lot of men would just let that slide. You're a good man.
No, but it's still Werner's fault, because he's stopping Mikey Moore get minutes, and maybe Mikey Moore will be sharper.
Marlon, Ashmatic, I think you've got another duo here. You need to do another show for. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, like I said with Stefan and bloody Jay as well, innit? You know
Mr. Box Office, I'm only as good as the people I'm working with. Give yourself a brand new theatre opening. Don't worry about that.
But yeah, Solanke for me has to find the corners. I don't know what you guys think. Near post or far post, across the keeper. I think he
does do that a little bit. He is. I'm not worried yet, but against Leicester, he had a similar chance.
Yeah.
And he didn't find the corner.
So are we saying it's rustiness, or are you
I'm saying it's rustiness. He had no preseason. Last week he'd only trained for a month. He'd finished a month's worth of training last week. So we've got to be realistic. The guy scored 3 goals in 3 games from injury, from ankle ligament injury. It's like he went 180. He went 180 minutes in the Premier League from Bournemouth, not scoring. I'm sorry, that's not bad.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, guys. For me, I think he's a decent to good finisher, but is he a great finisher? You know who he reminds me of sometimes when he's playing? He reminds me a bit like Giroud when he was at Arsenal
Nah.
before he fully matured. Do you know what I mean? And I think the finishing will fully come, but
You know who he reminds me of, really? He reminds me of a more mobile Llorente. Like, you get him in the right mood, and he's fit and he's firing. No, Llorente scored goals, blood. Llorente, before we come, no, listen
He's
to
like,
what I'm about to say.
this isn't
Before,
slander. I'm not insulting him.
Go look up Diego Llorente before you come to Spurs, bro. He was
Oh, yeah,
fighting great. Real Madrid and
Oh, bro,
everyone
it's
wanted
all
yeah,
him,
no, he
good.
bro.
was
It's all
fire.
good.
He was fire.
We're all friends here, bro.
Exactly, but what
Yeah,
my point is with him, Ashmatic, when he was in that mood
yeah.
that he was in, he could be unplayable against. But other games, like against Ajax, he will just be that person to occupy, hold the ball for your Dele Allis, for your Ericssons, to get the real football cracking. And if he scores a goal, great. But Solanke, for me, reminds me of that kind of player. It's like he needs to be fit. You need to have him in with other players like Madison, and like he ain't ever going to win us a game on his own. Whereas Kane could win us a game on his own. Let's be real.
Yeah,
He could step
yeah.
into midfield. He could pull strings. He could
Clinical.
go and take you a game.
Clinical.
Solanke's never going to be that. But
Yeah,
providing you've got good players around him, he will get you 15, 20 goals a season very easy. But
yeah.
look, he's not even scored what I call a proper goal. All of his goals have just been put Fox in the box. He's actually added a tool to our attack at the moment that we never had. When shots go in and ricochets go off, there's never been anyone to finish them up. If you watch his movement, yeah, when somebody takes a shot, he is on it. You know, we need him. It's as
So,
simple as that.
so basically, in Europe on Thursday, we've got a few issues at the moment because the news has broken out about Odobert being out for longer. We knew he was going to be out.
Yeah.
Basically, we have to play most of our first team.
Son, we don't know what's going on with Son at the moment. Bentancur's announcement happens on Thursday as well. So I'm thinking maybe Bentancur, he's going to start ahead of Basuma. I don't know. He might start ahead of Basuma if they, I mean.
It doesn't matter, apparently, because apparently that's the one place he can play. If he gets banned, he'll be
He
able to
can
play
play
the Europa League games, but he
They
won't
can't
be
play
able to
in
play
the Premier League.
any
Yeah.
Premier League, and he won't be able to play any cup
So,
competition.
What
so
I'm saying.
likely,
So
likely
Bentancur
is
likely to start then.
yeah. You're likely to
Yeah.
start now.
Yeah. So Bentancur saw Bergvall because Bergvall was taken off on Thursday, and then he had a few minutes.
I
Obviously,
think Solanke will start as well, just purely because he hasn't put that many miles on the clock
but
here.
Richarlison was seen on the grass in the training ground. So, do you think he would have enough minutes?
No,
You think he'll?
it's after the
No,
international
but he
break.
could be a possibility for the bench, and he could,
That's
he's
what I
going to
mean. The
have
bench.
minutes
That's
at
what I
some
mean.
point. So
That's what I
he
mean.
could be a possibility for the bench, 100%.
I don't think he'll make the bench. I think they'll wait till after the international break because it's with Richarlison. It will just take one kick and he'll be out again for like weeks.
No, but he's not actually physically injured, is it? He's been
No,
taken off.
I know. Yeah, I know, but he's only just come back on the grass, and I wouldn't expect them to put him on the bench when we've got 2 games left. I wouldn't be
What do you mean
surprised if
he's
he
not
went.
being physically injured? Explain that one. What's going on there?
He's not been physically injured. That's what people need to understand. Like, he was injured 2 months ago, but it's all to do with his personal assistant. It's all kicked off at the training. He's that guy that's been demanding all that money, going to the papers, turning up at the training ground, kicking off. You know what Levy's like. He's not that Richarlison was in trouble, but like they were saying that, like, look, with all that's gone on, because it's affected him mentally, and that person going to the ground kicking off, it was agreed that he wouldn't train for till now, till they sorted out the crooks and bones of sorting this guy out, because that guy is from Brazil, and Richarlison signed with Base, and they've taken a control over basically like advising him about things that where he's spending his money, and they're not telling him what to spend his money on, but they were just saying, I don't think you need to be giving a man £5,000 to £10,000 a week to go to the shop for you and stuff and do your shopping. So he basically got the sack, but he didn't really have a contract. It was all a verbal agreement, and he's kicked off, bruv. He's gone to the training ground, he's gone to all the local news outlets,
So
and he's
what's Ange saying? What's Ange saying about all of this? Because this sounds like a circus.
well,
Bro.
they've just kept it quiet, but they're not happy. They're not happy, not with Richarlison, but with this personal assistant, because he's obviously bringing the club into disrepute. He's sharing personal information, and while the club obviously used their powers of legality, and now the guy's saying he's going to take Richarlison to court, and it's all calmed down. It's funny that Richarlison's now back in the squad. I've been told firsthand, mentally, he's not been he's not been deemed as mentally stable enough to play football. It's exactly the same thing as what happened with Anthony when that bird said, "Oh, he's cut my finger. He's a woman beater and all this." And because it was alleged, do you know what I'm saying? He didn't do anything wrong, but the woman was trying to get money and make a drama. Until that was sorted, if you notice, they took Anthony out of the squad for 3 weeks. That's what's happened with Richarlison. He's not even been injured now. He's not injured, is he? It's just that while all that was going on, rightly so, is he going to be mentally stable to play football with? And some nutter running around, bringing his name down and talking his personal information and leaking his kids' information into the public, etc., etc. Guys tried to basically hold Richarlison at ransom for money, basically. I thought you all knew about this.
This is all allegedly, because I don't think we should be saying this at the moment. Don't disrespect
Listen. I've got my tinfoil hat on, so listen, keep going, sir. Because
the guy's gone to the paper. I just want to stipulate something here. Richarlison's done nothing wrong here. Richarlison's done nothing
allegedly.
No, but Richarlison's done nothing wrong. All that's happened is he had a personal assistant. They've decided to go their separate ways. So say if it was a girl, they've split up, yeah. But that person is running around saying personal information about Richarlison, about Tottenham, about how much he was paid. He's gone to the local paper. It's already been on Talk Sport. It's already in the news. But what Tottenham are trying to do,
I've not seen this.
Yeah. The guy's gone round running his mouth.
Right, let me check. Let me keep going. I'm not taking my tinfoil hat off yet.
So all it's been is that going with Richarlison's mental health struggles, the club have done the right thing. They've protected him. They've taken him out of the limelight. They've got to the bottom of what this guy's saying, how they can protect the football club, how they can protect Richarlison. Now that they've done that, and the guy said, well, I'm going to take him to court, he's now back in the squad, rightly so, training.
It was 2 weeks ago. It was in the paper.
There you go. And look, 2 weeks on.
Oh, fair enough.
2 weeks on, now it's going to court. Richarlison's back in the team. Because that bloke now knows the Richarlison's got an injunction against him. So if he says anything or he mentions Tottenham now, they can sue his ass. It's a bit like what's gone on with Chris Eubank Jr., where he's come out and he said all that shit and he's had to retract it. This is what that gentleman's doing. But look, Daniel Levy's Daniel Levy. And if you're going to try and bring his club into disrepute, he's going to deal with you accordingly. Like that agent that come out and said all that stuff about Defoe. He came out, went on Talk Sport, and he started saying Tottenham should be getting points deductions and that. Levy got onto him and said, mate, you open your mouth again, I'll sack your ass. Because Levy's got a letter saying that the club, the Premier League have investigated it and it's been dealt with. So you going on Talk Sport, bringing it up, you bring it up again, I'll sue your ass. And I respect Daniel Levy on that side of holding down business. He's done the right thing. He's done the right thing by Richarlison, by the football club. He's protected the football club and not brought it into disrepute. I'm not being funny with what's going on.
You are definitely being funny. Out of everything you're being right now, funny is definitely like funny is definitely one of them. Like,
how's that funny?
This is funny. It is funny. What do you mean? How is this not funny? This is definitely funny.
A Brazilian man running around. Going and speaking about Richarlison, about his kids and everything else, and about Tottenham and what we might or might not do because he has inside information, that brings the club into disrepute. So you know how Levy is. He's belt and braces. As soon as he's found out about it, it's like, Richarlison, you're out of the team. Who is this guy?
Okay, I'm putting that tinfoil hat back on.
And that's
is that what you got? Oh my gosh, Jay! What?
Yeah.
Oh god!
Yeah. Listen. If we're going down the rabbit hole, sir, I'm gonna need my tinfoil hat.
It's not a rabbit hole.
It's a definite fucking rabbit hole.
It's just what's going on. If you even look at it, yeah. When you look at his reported injury, he was out before with a quad injury. Yeah. What's he been injured for these last 3 weeks? Tell me what you think the injury is. It's not even stated what his injury is.
That's true, though.
Okay.
Let's get your predictions.
You could be onto something, but it's too early for me to co-sign this. The hat stays on.
Let's get predictions for Thursday in Brighton. What you guys going for? Box office.
Another 3-0 whooping in the Europa League. I can't wait for it.
Brighton.
I'm gonna go say 2-0 Tottenham.
Oh, bloody hell, he's only said one goal less than
Oh God.
and then Brighton. Oh,
7-7.
I'm gonna regret this.
Come on, box office.
Come on, box.
Enjoy this side.
2-1 Tottenham. 2-1
Hey!
Highlight versus highlight.
Oh, Mr. Box Office, how do you feel? He's smiling, how do you feel?
He said, I
Tottenham.
feel fucking sick.
I don't know who you are anymore, Alex. Aged.
Box office is being held hostage, people.
No, because I think the defenses are playing high line, so it's going to be goals regardless, isn't it? So I don't know, but like I say, yeah, I think we'll win, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do lose, but or
He
draw.
went
Oh,
to
he was going so well, but he's had to
Look
cancel.
at him. Look at him. Look at you, you fucking happy clapper.
What's that, Mr. Box Office? Levy in, did you just
Yeah,
say?
that's what I say. You bloody
These,
Levy
these
lover.
two need another show. These two need Marlon, Ashmatic. You know tonight, yeah. You don't need Mr. Box Off. You need these two. You know what I mean? Like Stefan and bloody Jay, innit?
It's squad
Bloody
rotation,
hell.
Alex. Sometimes, when you miss the box office, you get to miss the smaller fixtures. Do you know what I mean? You stretch your legs a little bit.
What do you two think, though? What does Ashmatic and Marlon think?
Yeah.
going for a double win as well. I'm going for 2 wins. Brighton. All right. Okay. Thursday, I think is straightforward. We should get that job done, no matter what. But yeah, talking about Brighton, Brighton's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I think they play, from what I've seen, they make mistakes at the back, but they play like in build up, like a 3-2-3. And when they are off the ball, they're playing a 4-4-2, which is trending at the moment. But I think what the manager's doing, from what I see, he plays them quite wide. So when you play your back four quite wide, holes start appearing everywhere, and I think we can play through their 4-4-2 press quite easy. Well, not easily, but I think we've got the players in your Madisons and Kulus to kind of.
They do have one good player, Ash, that Mateus Brodinia, is it? Or Radinia? I can't remember his second
We've got
name.
good players.
No, but I'm saying they do have one really good player. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they just have one really good player. I think the rest of them are pretty needy. But the one player, if I remember right, Mateus Raldinia or something like that, he's special. He actually is a good player.
Oh, you mean Thursday? You mean Thursday? You mean Europa?
Yeah.
Europa. Oh, I
Yeah,
was talking about
okay.
Brighton. I was talking
Yeah.
about Brighton. I was talking about Brighton.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thursday. Yeah. Like I think we'll win that. I think we'll win that. 3-0. Yeah, 3-0. And then Sunday against Brighton, there will be goals like Box Office said. I think a 3-2 possibly, man. Something crazy like that.
I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet against Brighton. I think they're good offensively, and they've got lots of options how they can attack you from their bench as well. So
they have. They've got Mente. They've got Adingra. They've got João Pedro. They've got obviously Welbeck does what he does in it.
Ruta, Adingra.
Ruta, Ruta's good. So they've got a few players that can.
Ferguson's coming back from injury, so he might even be available. So they're stacked in attack.
Yeah, 100%. Jay?
I would say that Europa 3-1. The Brighton game is really annoying for me because the data looks good for Brighton, but they fail my eye test every time I watch this team. Like, I watched them against United, they didn't pass my eye test. Watch them against Chelsea, they didn't pass my. But I look at the underlying data and they look great. Do you know what I mean? But every time I watch them, they don't look great. So I'm gonna go with a 3-2. I'll be pissed if we lose to Brighton. I genuinely believe that we're better than them. We've got better players. We've got better manager. Like, just get the job done.
Oh yeah, getting done by the 16-year-old Hertzler.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? He's young enough to be Angie's grandson. Let's not take the piss here, lads. Come on, bring it home. Back-to-back win. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you though. If Ange wins this game in the midweek, which we all think he should, but we all know European football is very unpredictable. But we'd like to think we're favourites, and he should get that done.
Yeah.
I think by the time, if he beats Brighton and keeps a clean sheet, I'm sorry, but that is a good run.
It's a good run, man. It's a good run. We might even see Alex crack a smile.
Yeah.
I don't change my mind very easily, bro.
I don't do ifs, buts, or coconuts.
I don't,
Hands up.
yeah. No, at the end of
Is
the
Zan
day,
still walking, by the way? Is Zan still walking at the end of the season?
I still, I
Walking
don't.
into a contract renewal. Yeah,
At
buddy.
the moment, I don't see anything different. The only thing I do think is that I think they are more in tune with each other than I thought they were by what I saw. I only saw a little bit of it of the fan forum. I think they are very more in tune with each other. But I do blame Ange for the signings because Daniel Levy confirmed it at the fan forum, didn't he? So I said it on Mr. Box Office TV as well. I've got the quote. So you know,
He's not going to tell us what he said. You have to go to Mr. Box Office TV to find that out. I love it. I love it, Alex.
the quote. There was a
Respect the
quote
brand.
there already. Daniel Levy's already confirmed it. He said that
Alex, don't give away the special sauce for free. They got to go to your channel to find the quote, right?
we'll just have to look at one of the latest videos before the Man United review. I've already said it there. It was confirmed by Daniel Levy that it is all Ange's signings. It's all Ange's signings. He said it's okay, and that's it. They haven't pressured him, so it's all on him. So he has to make this work. He has to make this work, and that's it. So I'm a bit disappointed in that because, as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to play gun ho football, you need good players. As far as I'm concerned, and that's it. And I don't think you should be betting on just young players, and that's it for me. But at the moment, well, you know, he's done okay, and but I still think he's going at the end of the season. It'll be the next 2 seasons, I'll say, for me.
Bloody hell, that's a long scope, brother. The average
Well,
Premier League manager lifespan is 18 months. So
well, yeah, true. I mean, he stayed for the first. He stayed for his first season. Well done. At last, Tottenham done that. Great. That's not really a great achievement, but you know, well done for
Well
achieving.
done. You didn't lose your job. What do you want? A medal? I
Yeah,
hear that.
exactly.
I hear that, Alex. I
Yeah,
hear
I
that.
hear that as well, bro.
But it's just like I said before to you, Ashmatic. You know, I'm 37 years old. You know, I think I was 11 years old when I started really supporting Tottenham, 1998. You know, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. You know what I mean? So you know, it isn't going to change my mind. I'm not copying anybody else because Mr. Box Office has got his own mindset, and that's it. Sorry, Sam, I haven't been defeated. Just get back in your box, back in the comments. I don't know what you're seeing, bro. It's just that I've just been relaxing, bro. Just watch one of my
box
latest
office
videos.
punching that.
Look at one of my things on the channel, bruv, because I've been working more on my channel rather than actually going on lots of other channels
Sam, he's
and getting them walking off because I can't listen to what my opinion is because I'm getting
Sam, his
rattled. But
positivity levels tonight.
the point is that, like I say, I've seen this before, and you know they don't need praise. Well, they get praise a little bit, but then it's like saying, well, okay, you got to go again. You've got to go again, and that's it. And I just think this fan base are getting too emotional about players, like who don't deserve us to be emotional at all. They're not players that get you off your seat. They're not those sort of players. And until we get trophies, you know, and actually win, that's the only stats that matter, and that's it for me. And that's all that matters. And that's it for me. So I don't know where we go. I don't know why people have a go, but if I want to have a go, it just makes me even more stronger, and that's it. And that's all I need to say, and that's it. And the people that think I'm talking nonsense and throw me off WhatsApp groups, well, I'm still here. So what you saying? You know what I mean? Because I'm badass and Mr.
He
Box
said
Office. That's
what?
it, and
He
that's
said
all I need
what?
to say,
Bring
and that's
it.
it. Back to you,
What?
Smatic. I'm
What you
done. If you don't
Hey,
listen,
But
and
hey,
that's the end of the show, and
end
that's
the
it.
show on
box
that one.
office
End
Done.
is
the show
just
on that one.
released.
Wrap it up,
What?
lads. We can't follow
Guys,
that. Wrap it up.
can't keep a good man down. Hey,
I get you, mum. I get you. Yeah,
Yeah!
man.
A blood cloud
Yeah, man. I love you, mum. I love that, mum.
end the show, man. End the
Right,
show.
bruv. You're my guy, mum. Oh,
Box
mum.
office, man.
Oh shit!
With
And
the
if you don't,
M6,
and if you don't know, get to know. Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Box
yeah.
Office with his M16 there.
Everybody,
Hey.
everybody, I hope you've enjoyed tonight. We've had some crazy, 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 crazy people on tonight. Love it. It's been emotional. It's been fun. It's been a laugh, and that's what at the end of the day, that's what it is. Box off. Not box. I'll come to you last. Box office. Chef, brilliant as always. Love having you on. Been great. Getting analysis.
Loved it.
Like that.
Loved it. Top.
Thank you.
Top.
Jay, as always, you're bringing the views. You know, you are the main
What
man
can I
on this
say?
channel.
You
As you
boys.
told me.
Hey,
I
what
had to
hey,
hear on
listen,
another show.
Don't worry about it. Even Chelsea have to
MVP.
surround Cole Palmer with some scrubs. It's all good, guys. Guys, thanks. It's honestly, I've been on quite a few pods over the last couple of weeks. Tonight has genuinely been one of the funniest, most fun pods I've been on in a long time. Sa, Box Office, Marlon, Ash. Appreciate you. Comments, you've been great all night. Thank you very much, people.
And Mr. Box Office. I don't know who kidnaps you for half the show, but as always, been brilliant. Brilliant as always. Speak the truth. Never holds back.
Well, listen, I think I've been actually tamed today. To be honest with you, I
You,
don't think I've
you, you
actually.
didn't kill our ratings either, man.
No, I don't think I did. I think I've been very tame today. You know what I mean? Like I say,
All it
I've just
takes is a 3-0
I've
win at
been
Old
calm
Trafford.
and just like I say, because I'm calm. Because the thing is, like I say, it's I've seen this so many times. You know what I mean? I've got more other priorities. It's like I said, I'll still go to the games, and that's going to be their credit, and that's it for me. So has nothing really to change. The only thing that needs to change is that I need to get more subscribers and more views on my channel, and that's it. You know what I mean? So it'd be very appreciated if you can subscribe to Mr. Box Office TV, because it doesn't pay. I'm not asking for money here. I'm just asking for some appreciation, even if you don't even like me. Even if you want to troll me, I love it because then I'll just come back at you, and that's it. It just gives me more fuel, and that's it. Because I'll still support Tottenham. I'll still call the truth, and that's it. And you're just gonna love it, and that's it. Tell that to Jaws because Jaws thinks he's better than me when he's not even better than me at all because he knows football. And that's it. Sorry, I
Hey,
had to put that
it's
shot out.
defenders first of all. Hey,
Put that shot in. I had to put that shot in to a guy who thinks he's better
hey,
than me.
listen. Hey, George, you're meant to be here, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. George was meant to be here. Bro, talk.
yeah.
You're meant to
But
be
he need to be here. Oh, he couldn't make it.
here.
He couldn't make it because he thinks he's
But
better
this
than
happened,
us.
didn't it?
He thinks he's better than us, and he's not better than us,
Listen,
and
don't
that's it.
worry.
And if he knows what
Listen,
time it
we'll
is, if
have
he
it.
wants to come and see
Hey,
Mr. Box Office, and that's it. Mr. Box Office TV, the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, the ratings
get it together.
killer.
Don't worry.
The people that people run away from because they can't take the truth, and that's it. And if you don't know, get to know,
Get
and
to
that's it.
know.
That's it. Back to you, Ashmatic. Back to you, Marlon. I'm done. If you don't know, get to know. I've had enough of this rubbish.
Ash, let people know about tomorrow.
So tomorrow we have a showdown that's worth watching. I don't even know what to say. Like, obviously, it's rivals, but make sure you tune in.
I'm doing something tomorrow.
Yeah, with this, yeah, Jake.
Am I doing something tomorrow? Am I taking Stefan to school tomorrow?
Wait,
Okay.
it's Jay versus Stefan.
Yeah,
Jay versus
all right.
Stefan.
Let me take him to the woodshed. Go on. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, it's gonna be mad. It's tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Box Office has been calling for it for centuries, for years now, for months, for weeks, for hours. He wants it for hours and hours. Pause. But listen, it's finally happening. Jay versus Stefan. Yeah, make sure you do view for that one. It's gonna be a hot one. And then obviously we're still gonna get at it. Rivals gonna come on. We still got quite a few people coming on. It's gonna be spicy. Spicy as always. It's always a spicy show, but please make sure you like and subscribe to this show, share this show because we still need the likes and views or whatever. We need it to help get out there. We're still a small channel in comparison to others, but support the man them. Spurs man them, support us in it. Love.
It shouldn't be a small channel. It shouldn't be a small channel. No, it shouldn't be because it should be appreciated. And everyone knows they should be
All
appreciating
right,
you,
man. That's
Marlon.
all right.
They
Listen,
should be
we're not
appreciating you.
begging. We're not begging. Listen, we're
No,
not
no,
begging.
no, 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 no,
Do
no.
what we do. We do what we
But I'm giving you flowers, man. Appreciate that, bro. I'm giving you a moment of shine. You know
Thank
what I mean? Like I said, because I love you, Asmatic. I love you, Marlon. Even though you think I don't like me, I love you. I love the others as well. I love Deji.
Big up Sam, man.
And
Big up.
yeah, and I love everybody on
you.
the channel.
Big
You know
up
what
the
I mean?
chat. Big up the
Big
chat.
up to everybody. Yeah. You know
Even
what I mean?
watching, hold tight, you man.
Yeah, and anybody watching on the TV, make sure anyone who's watching, make sure you scan the QR code right at the end. It will take you
And you
straight
will,
to
man.
subscribe
Big up
button.
you, you too as
Yeah.
well, bro. Big you up.
Yeah, everyone in the chat tonight has been amazing,
It's
absolutely
been
brilliant.
great.
Love, man.
It's been
Love.
great.
It's made us have a laugh as well, and share the comical value of it. But as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up.
Boys,
Andrew Trump.
boys.
Just say it.